everybody, this is Chelzor the Destroyer. We're gonna get into some juicy gossip about people you may or may not know. I don't know who I don't know who half of them are because I'm a shut-in and I don't pay attention to what's going on in the world. So let's get started. Gossip about people you may or may not know. As everyone in my chat knows, I don't know anything that's going on because I'm a shut-in and I love drama that has nothing to do with me and tea. That's why I like Reddit stories. Thank you for the hydrate. All right, let's get into it. So I was at a convention, advertising my convention, when all this hit the fan. And I was eating good all weekend, or drinking tea good all weekend, whatever you want to say. Sorry if this has affected you negatively. It doesn't affect me really at all. That's why I'm like, ooh, it's interesting. So if it has affected you negatively, I am so sorry. I am so sorry for everyone involved. It does suck. I have had many toxic relationships. Specifically friendships, I should specify. I've had many toxic friendships that have ended very badly, and I'm usually the one getting used or attempting to be used, etc. So like, it sucks 100%. Don't love it. Anyway, let's get to this. Cause y'all know I pulled up my Twitter. All right. Or X, whatever. So on Saturday, the 26th, today's Monday, Saturday. Nanolist, if you don't know who Nanolist is, she's an artist. I'm assuming other people have referred to her as she, so that's what I'm going to use. An artist, works with very many big VTubers, specifically way bigger than me. What's up? I'm nobody. That's fine. Let's go. So Nanolist. This post. So, yes, it's a Chelzor's Explained. What's up? All right. I'm here to share something that's affected me personally and hurt others. It's very hard for me, but I feel it's necessary. Please don't send hate to anyone on my behalf, etc. Right? Okay, so this is the document. The documentation. This is the spark that started this crazy fire, all right? So, I want to share my experience with Sinder and Red. Red is redacted, referred to as Red from here on out, probably. Manipulating me, using me, and dragging me into drama while sabotaging, slandering, and spreading lies about people I thought were her closest friends, her being Sinder. If you don't know who Sinder is, VTuber, significantly larger than me, is apparently Hellhound, apparently 100% responsible for inventing putting flames in ears. We'll get to that later. If you have flames in your ears, you're infringing on her ideas or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, not only do I no longer wish to work with Sinder, so bam, 100%, get yourself a new artist. It's not me. I want to share that I've endured over the years and shed light on what she's been doing behind people's backs to protect artists and friends that may be experiencing something similar. I'm watching people interact with this. That's hilarious. Okay. I struggled writing this document based on working with redacted Red, Sinder's manager, and Sinder of the years. I'm sure they speak for each other, and there is no reason to believe Red was acting without Sinder's consent and knowledge. Whenever I use they or them, it refers to both of them acting as a team. This is important. English is not my first language, and the language barrier, I discuss the situation, my feelings, and thoughts with native English speakers who help me put them into words so everything is clear without any misunderstandings due to lack of English skills. Any names that are censored here were censored because the creator in question did not provide consent to have their name revealed by the time of me posting this document. This is where it gets fun, I'm gonna be honest. For people who are not involved. People who are involved, it sucks. Also, weird random thing. When Google Docs are pulled up on a phone and there are pictures of specifically Discord chats in them, it is the worst picture to try to read. Like, this is so hard to read on a phone. I have no idea why. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. It's awful. I suffered, but I did it. All right. So, screenshots of them speaking ill of other creators and spreading rumors while manipulating me in their best interest. Okay. So they talk about her wanting her to cancel on other big VTubers. commissionings. Again, this is an artist. She's making art for models and also art for, say, merchandise, etc. Okay, so not just model art, but also merchandising art. So they accuse Bao of giving, quote unquote, their editor too much work, resulting in the editor not having any time for new clients, such as Sinder. The editor worked with Bao first, I believe. So what are you talking about? So they basically spread rumors and then love bomb. If you don't know what love bombing is, it's what manipulative people do, where they shower you with love and affection or positivity after being kind of shit to you, so that you kind of look over the fact that they were jerks to you. Don't fall for it, guys. Also, don't do that. Anyway, okay. So she mentions having to cancel on her for the second time. This is Redacted, who is Red, the quote-unquote manager of Sinder. Will, with this person, which at this point we believe is Bao, or it might not be Bao. Either way, she's given a lot of bias and priority at GamerSups. Sinder is like a co-owner of GamerSups or something. She's very high up in GamerSups. I am not entirely sure why, unless this other person is also a bigger creator and also more of like a shareholder, company holder, whatever they are. I don't know. Like, I'm confused about that. I don't know how GamerSups works. I'm gonna be 100%. It's partially owned by Sinder. Yeah, so like, why are you not giving priority to the co-owner? You're giving priority to somebody else. So I'm like, is the other person either just a bigger creator that makes them more money, or is it another co-owner that has owned it longer? I don't know. We will get into that because we kind of find out who everybody is in this. So, so somebody is giving a lot of bias and priority at GamerSups, sometimes over Sinder, and we can't really confront them about it. This person has also gone 3D lately. Bao, so it's not Bao, has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor a while ago and is constantly picking up artists that we work with. We've gotten to know her better being friends with her, but she really rubs us the wrong way with the things that she does. We want to try to safeguard our most important artist from her since she's already taking our editor, this most important artist being Nano. I don't really mean to take it like he doesn't work with us anymore. He does, but he has to dedicate time for her now, and sometimes that gets in the way of our projects. One of Bao's music video editors is the one that did the Boss Rush music video, which is Sinder's, and we're 99% sure she told him not to do anymore with us. So they're claiming that Bao took one of the editors and told the editor, do not work with Sinder anymore. Like, you only work with me, or you at least just do not work with Sinder. Pay attention to that because it's real interesting. But like, model art is the most important thing. That's a VTuber's entire image. Sure, all right. We love working with you. Sinder wouldn't be Sinder without Nano. But like, let me tell you the tea about the music video thing. Bao had an original song last year that had MVs by her editor, and the song flopped. Her editor met us at TwitchCon and was saying that he'd love to work with us, practically jumping through hoops to get something planned. So obviously, the editor's doing everything that they can to work with Sinder and Redacted, like 100% wants to work with Sinder and Redacted. We managed to have him squeeze into the Boss Rush MV between his work with Bao. He says he loved working on it and is super excited to work on the next MV project. Boss Rush songs blow up. He's credited the editor. I ask him when he's free to do the next project. All of a sudden, he changes his mind and is only working with Bao going forward. No explanation. First of all, freelance artists are allowed to work with whoever they want. That is a thing. All right, they're allowed to work with whoever. Again, Nano, to my knowledge, also does non-model work. They do just general art as well. I say general art like it's super easy or something. It's not. My understanding is they also do just kind of art as well, not just model art. I'm not 100% with this, but it's what I think is happening. Illustrations, there you go. That's a good word for it. He doesn't have to give you an explanation. He just doesn't want to work with you anymore. That's totally fine. I've definitely tried to commission someone and then being like, I don't have time for that, or I'm just not interested in the project, and that's fine. You move on, you find somebody else. Like, that's life. I haven't really done that with an editor, granted, but like, I get art done for like, I run conventions, I get art done. I've started getting art for my VTuber, or different like projects for my VTuber, my stream, whatever. Sometimes it happens. It's normal. To me, it's normal. I don't know. Anyway. So, there's some context missing since we know Bao is behind the scenes, but basically we don't have an MV editor now for our next Boss Rush project. We think Bao got pissed off that her editor did an original song music video for her friends without her knowing, and it did 100% better than her original songs last year, that she locked him up so no one else could work with him. So, Bao told the editor, you can't work with him anymore because she is jealous that Sinder's song did better than her songs. That is the picture they are painting here. And then had to make it public on Twitter that he was only working with her going forward, like a literal announcement tweet. So the dude tweets out like, hey, don't contact me about any work or commissions. I am only working with Bao from here on. First of all, if they to announce that on Twitter, like they had to make an announcement, maybe you weren't the only one. Maybe it's not about you in any way. I'm just saying. It's real believed to be main character energy here. Anyway, now she's been barking up the tree of our live 2D animators. So like, and you and a nano model. So basically she wants a nano art model. Nano goes, yeah, looking for me sounds sus for sure, especially after they just explained everything that they explained. It's annoying. She has a way of guilt tripping people to get her way. Does she? Is that it? Okay. Red asked me to cancel one of their closest friends, Bao, by asking me to cancel my work mid-progress, manipulating me into thinking it was okay since she has so many connections and she'll be fine anyway, so it wouldn't really feel guilty about it or worry too much. It was and is upsetting to me that Red contacted me specifically to check on me canceling the model I had planned with Bao. So Bao already contacted Nanolis, already commissioned a model, had plans. Nano was in process of working on this model, and they contacted her, convinced her to cancel Bao's model, and then contacted her again to make sure that she had done so. So did you cancel models? I did not. Nano arc delayed to 2026. I'm scared to cancel with Bao. You shouldn't be. She has so many connections. She'll find someone super fast. Did you already design her outfit? I remember her showing it to us at WeebCon. So they have been to a con together, Sinder, Bao, and Redacted, and Bao showed them the art that Nano did for her, or is in the process of working on. Nano goes, yeah, I can give it to her. I can give her the design for free as an apology gift. So she's already working on this. She's going to cancel it. I assume no money is going to change hands, and give the work she's done already, the design, to her as an apology for canceling. This comes back. All of this comes back, which is crazy. Exclusivity and blacklisting other creators. In the messages below, they mentioned wanting an exclusivity contract. If you don't know what that is, that means basically Nano only works with Sinder. So Nano won't take any other commissions, any other requests, any other work, only working with Sinder. All right. They didn't want to, but they did not want to pay. They did not want to pay for exclusivity. Then it's not exclusive. No, that's not how this works in any way. But rather, when a creator from their blacklist comes asking for commission, they would guarantee me model work for Sinder only, and if someone asked me for commissions, they commission me instead to compensate for not working with other creators. So basically, they had a list of people, or some people, that they did not want Nano working with in any way, shape, or form. So if this person approaches Nano asking for commission. Nano has to turn them down and then turn around, contact Sinder and Redacted and be like, this person asked for this. I said no. Now you have to ask for something and pay me so that I'm not out that money. That's not exclusivity. Not really, because apparently if you are a VTuber that they don't care about, then you can continue working on their stuff, I guess. Or if it is like a VTuber that is maybe bigger than Sinder and she's aware of that. I don't know. I know Sinder is very big, don't get me wrong. I just don't know much about her, to be honest. So that's not an exclusivity contract, to be honest. It's not a contract at all, really. It's kind of a loose agreement of like, we are actively trying to sabotage people, kind of. And we can see that with the whole bow conversation. Like, they're actively trying to sabotage people, which is crazy to me. Imagine caring that much. I'm sorry. This is crazy to me. Okay. So, they're talking about setting up a backlist, saying Nano is not allowed to work with any new clients or create any new outfits for certain VTubers specifically, and justifying those things by saying that with each model, the art becomes less unique and special, and therefore Sinder becomes less special. I would like to scream a little bit. Like, first of all, your design, like, yes, having unique art can help you, right? But also what makes you special is your personality, what you're doing, you. What makes you special is you, not necessarily your artwork. Like, yes, artwork is super important to a VTuber. I'm not trying to say it's not. I love Sasu, who did my art for my VTuber. Like, I also love Gravity Wolf, who did the art and rigging for my ChibiTuber. Love them. Love the stuff I have done from them. It's just like, hey, you're making too many models. That means I am not special enough. She's not copying and pasting your model to 20 other people. That's not what's happening. Part of it is your design, your elements, like what you want, and that makes you kind of unique. But also, I'm gonna tell you right now, because this pissed me off, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm gonna get saltier later. Please quit thinking that you are number one unique in ideas of design, because this is a reoccurring issue we see in the VTubing community. God forbid someone be the same animal as you, the same creature as you, the same color scheme as you, whatever. Like, as someone who has been an anime fan for almost my whole life, you would be surprised how many like color palettes keep coming up because people just like those color palettes. Again, I'm going to complain about this again later because it comes up again and I have very strong feelings about it and I'm very annoyed about it. So that is the thing. We are also only at the fucking start of this. All right. So, we wanted to have some kind of model exclusivity. What would you need to make that suitable for you? First of all, payment. I'm gonna tell you right now, payment. Like, if she could sit there and figure out how much money she gets monthly or yearly even from making models, she could calculate that and be like, you have to give me X amount of money a year or X amount of money a month to cover my costs. Here's a contract you need to sign. But that's not what they want. They do not want to pay her to be exclusive. Not really. They want to do shady shit. Maybe you can share one of your ideas and I can check what I think. So she doesn't know. Like, she's not sure. He doesn't answer for like 30 minutes or whatever. It's like, you know, ideas like, I was driving, what were you thinking? Nano goes, I asked some help from my friends. They don't know it's you. So a monthly fee calculating my monthly earnings. Yes, that is how this is done. That is how you be exclusive. You have to pay for them. You have to pay their wages. They now work for you. There are companies out there. I know Hololive, for example, will have like exclusivity, might have exclusivity stuff. I know there's like some modelers that specifically work Hololive. And they kind of just work Hololive, and then some don't just work Hololive. So it's basically like you work for them and only them, and they have to pay you. They have to give you like a salary. They have to give you money. Like, it's not just like you pay me when you feel like it. Like, no, I now work for you and you have to pay me like monthly at least. Like, hello. Also, how long would this be for? And if this counts for models that they have already worked on, right? It's like, so maybe they have models in the works, whatever. It's like, I think the main things we're working for are for you not to take on any brand new model clients and to not make any new models / outfits with VTuber #1, random VTuber. Again, you'd still be able to work on models / outfits with all of your other existing babies, and your artwork comms will not be affected. So basically, if it is not this person, you can continue working on stuff, but not for this person. Like, just blacklist this one person. One of our concerns is that the more nano babies, which is models, like, means nano models don't have the same value anymore. Your art is devalued because there's too many of them now. And the second that there's a few people that we would just would rather not be able to have a model from you. Maybe not any new babies at all. The reason why I brought this up is that there's been a lot of bias with another one of our partners with certain creators, and we'd rather these creators not have what makes Sinder unique, which is your artwork. Sinder is not unique without this specific artwork, and because there's other artwork, similar models, Sinder isn't unique. Why does Sinder have any fan base? The only thing that anyone cares about is her art and literally nothing else about her. Apparently. At least that's what this annoys me. I'm gonna be honest. Like, a lot of it is personality, please Jesus. A lot of it is your personality, the things that you say, the stuff that you do. It is not, I'm not saying art isn't involved. It is 100%. You definitely see it different in my views when I am this model versus my chibi model, and that's totally fine. But like being like, no one else should have your model art, like quit taking on model art, because the more people that have your models, the less unique Sinder is. It just annoys me. It 100%, it just annoys me. Like, I don't know. Again, not trying to discredit artists. Love my artists. Love the art. Am constantly trying to get more art done. Not even gonna lie to you, but like putting all of Sinder's like everything onto this artist annoys me. Oh my God. Okay. We can pay something for you and you don't have to discount it from the next payment, and we'll continue giving you lots of model work. I think about 4 this year right now, but you don't work with list 3 VTubers at all. Again, models or art, which is completely different than what he said earlier. So this is the same day, by the way. This was back in January. So before, he was like, don't make any new models or outfits with this other person, but anyone else that you have worked with before, you can continue making stuff for. Now he's claiming you cannot work with these 3 at all. It doesn't matter what it is. Models, outfits, artwork, illustrations, whatever, don't care. You cannot work with them. I don't think you've ever done anything with this person or this person before. We also have another gamer subs label for you too. It's like, is there any way to add on a little more since so-and-so still asks for art every now and then? It's like, well, we could do it when that person asks for art. You tell her no, and then tell us to buy another art piece. Like, you still get a job from it. Don't do this. Like, if you're an artist and someone like appears with like wanting this, don't fucking do it. Like 100%, this is shady shit. Don't do it. They want to be, if they want exclusivity, pull up a contract, get paid. This is bullshit. Like, this is just terrible. Another example, speaking iller of other creators, right after they saw that she was working with Shy Lily, trying to once again make the idea of working with other clients seem like I am setting myself to problematic people who will do me no good in the long run to get me to reconsider working with them. They also continuously kept asking me about other clients' plans, which for them made the antenna go up and immediately went into slandering Lily. They consistently try to reassure me that despite their best efforts, they just happen to keep trying to bring drama in as reasons for me to go exclusive, and that working only with Sinder is them trying to look out for me. Oh, what? Manipulation? Yeah, okay. Okay, moving on. Sorry. Okay. Redacted contacts Nano. This is 3 months later. So before we were in January, we are now in April. So this is recent. Y'all, this is recent. Okay. Hey, Nano, do you have any more plans with Lily besides just the model, like outfits or merch or anything? She says, no, it's just been the model. Redacted then says, her asking you for a model recently just made the antenna go up. She's been acting weird towards Sinder lately, and we don't know if we don't know if something's going on, like why is she acting weird? Ever since V-Card launched, Nano asked if what is considered weird. Redacted says, lately dipping out of collabs when they were both part of at the last minute and now ghosting her messages. Cinder's rated her for a couple of times in the past week, and Lily won't acknowledge Cinder by name. Just like weird stuff, weird petty stuff. I'm not sure. Around V-Card's launch, they were talking and collabing, and I'm not sure what happened, but her asking you to do a model for her after was just kind of weird, even though she said she doesn't plan on getting a new model anytime soon. I don't know. I hate that we keep bringing you into drama. That's because you're trying to manipulate her. I'm just saying. Nano, yeah, I thought it was quite early to go for a new model. Someone look a bit menacing, so I don't talk to her. Redacted, feels like we're going to have to compete with Lily if she is ghosting Cinder and wants the same model mama. That's weird. The idea they need to stay informed and engage the competition is extremely upsetting and toxic to me. The competition they're referring to are people I thought they considered friends who always help, support, and platform Cinder. Platformed, supported, that's important. So they're putting Cinder on a platform. They're acknowledging Cinder. They're putting Cinder out in the public eye using their platform. So now they're competition. Okay, that's not a great way to look at things. When I pushed back, the immediate response was blaming the other creators and implying that they initiated it by trying to work with Nano and that somehow justified their actions. They imply Lily ignored Cinder when she spent over a minute thanking the raid, which you can see in a clip. I'm not going to clip the clip. There's a clip. It's just Cinder and someone you've been doing continuous model outfits for. We'll have the demon update list plus final reference for you as soon as it's finished. That's about something else. Have an outfit planned for somebody else, and for this other person, got nothing for now, but she always comes up with something. Do you know who's rigging Lily's model? Thanks. Sorry for all the questions. Just got to stay informed, especially when it comes to our top artists. Never a break. Yeah, I'll keep you in the loop about anything else that's going on. Gotta stay competitive even when we shouldn't have to. She goes, don't go too far on the competition, like competitiveness. It can get bad. Gotta chill sometimes. Red claims that it's not them. We aren't the ones getting the model from the artists of other Gamer Subs owners out of the blue and ghosting them and refusing to acknowledge them. That is directly about Lily. Below, wanted to push back and make clear I was uncomfortable on being dragged into drama. They responded by bringing up more drama and baseless claims, all while trying to guilt trip me. It is ironic and crazy to me that I mentioned not wanting to be dragged into personal issues only for them to to, on multiple occasions, mention other people's alleged drama. So this is basically them just continuously talking about drama and dragging them into it and that kind of stuff. It's already dragging them into it by trying to convince them to not work with certain like clients. Like, don't work with these clients. We'll you know, do art instead. It's, oh my God. Nano contacts Sinder. God, not Snyder. Sinder. Guys, I can totally read. I'm totally literate. Just want to say sorry for stepping back on the exclusivity deal. Wanted to apologize personally to you since I've only talked about that with Red, but I just don't want to be dragged into any personal issues like that. After all, someone is still a client and it makes me anxious and kind of destroys my mental whatever to do this kind of deal. Yeah, that's also just a bad deal. Like, that's not a good deal. They're not willing to do a contract. They're not willing to actually pay you monthly. That is a shit ass deal. All right? That is really controlling. You should not have taken this, and I'm proud of you, Nano. Just want to let you know I still love working with you in Red, but I'll understand if things don't work out because of this other person. I just love my clients, that's all. Also, the other person isn't trying to micromanage who you're allowed to work with. Sinder, I get it, Nano. Drizzle, thanks for the Prime sub, appreciate it. I get it, it was unfair to push this on you, and it's just really confusing going back and forth about it. What's confusing about it? You put them in an awkward situation. They didn't know how to deal with it, and they're finally telling you no. And they just don't want bad. You shouldn't have done this to begin with. Like, I'm just, oh my God. I just get compared to her a lot, even still today, and it's like I'm always living in someone's shadow, which is one reason why Red asked about not taking any more models for her. And when you said, I understand if things don't work out, it makes me feel like you're okay with not working with me anymore, which hurts so much after all this time. I really appreciate you, Nano, and it's your decision who you ultimately work with, but this is how I've been feeling. I'm gonna be honest, if it was me, I'd be like, hey, if you're gonna bring me into your petty bullshit drama, I am not gonna work with you anymore. Knock it off. Like, that's me personally. I don't have the energy for this. So, like, this is some bullshit. That's all I gotta say. Nana responds, I don't really see the point of continuously thinking about being compared to this other person since you're so much bigger than her already and you've done so much more. But I would never give her any priority over you. So there's not even any model for her being discussed. I just want to sleep clear-minded. Also, I'm fine not doing her models, but at least Gamer Sup's art stuff would be fine with me. I don't want to 100% be an asshole to her. That is all. Cinder claims it's not her, but other people's opinions, and just trying to not get involved in any drama that other people want to talk about comparing us. I understand where you're coming from. There's no hard feelings. Nano claims that she's sorry, that she's just mentally a bit weak. I'm sorry for bringing it to you. Cinder says the whole situation just kind of sucky. She just wants to get along. Nano claims, I understand if things don't work out about this. It would mostly be if you hate me for not burning this person down from her list. Yeah. So, justifying their behavior by saying they're simply looking out for me when none of this has anything to do with me to begin with, and manipulating me into being grateful for earning well thanks to them despite the loss of work from long-time returning clients and new clients. Again, they are trying to limit who she's able to work with, and then being like, you should thank us. No? Like, you're trying to micromanage who I'm allowed to work with, and you're not paying me to do that. So why would I be thankful to you? That's crazy. Let's see. Another example of going after other clients of mine from before, claiming that having more clients alongside them makes my work less special, with the reoccurrence of it, quote unquote, it is just business. It's just business. Business is business, etc. Basically, they just keep talking about how it's just business. Literally, they just keep it's business. Manipulating into believing that working with her is special for multiple reasons, and that I was losing that special something if a client that I prefer to work with others. As a client, if I prefer to work with others. No acknowledgement of my reasoning and need of working with other clients due to the nature of my work, solely focused on their issues. I would also like to note again that the screenshot is one of the many occasions that indicate that Red speaks on Sinder's behalf. I was originally concerned with everything going through Red. That may not have been 100% of Sinder's feelings, or once I mentioned her about it to make sure that he spoke on her behalf and confirmed with both of them that this is the case. So, confirmation that Sinder knows what Red is saying and Red is speaking for her, and it's fine. So, Sinder, hope you're doing okay. I talked with Red, and I believe he talked to you already. I thought it would be best if I just check here personally. I actually want to know better your thoughts, because Red tried to talk to me and I think I misunderstood things, mostly about canceling work on some models because etc. Sinder says, I understand what he means, but at the end of the day, it's just business. Of course, we love working with you and want to keep working together. But if you prefer to work with other clients instead of me, I know it's for a reason, for you to help grow and not because you don't like me. Being one of your very first model babies was so amazing. I was happy to be able to find someone to help you with live 2D cutting to improve your skills. And I think it's a big part of why everyone loved the 1.0 model and then started asking you for them. So taking taking ownership of something in regards to this, being as you wouldn't be anywhere without me, or you wouldn't be as popular without me, which, I mean, if you have a successful VTuber that you've done art for, like, I'm sure you do get more, like, work or people calming you, but this is a little shitty, like, how she's saying this. Because that's not what she means here. I'm going to have Red send you a list of art plans for the future and estimated due dates. Just let us know what you actually want to work on. That way I have time to look for someone else if you don't have time for my projects or don't want to do them, with a weird face. It feels special to only have your model art for all my outfits, but just let me know if you don't have time for me to be an exclusive nano art baby anymore. That's a little threatening, almost. It's not quite, but it is very manipulative, right? No personal reason I would never do something like this to you or anyone, but yeah, it's important for my job to reach far, and I like working on different projects and people. I never said I don't want to work with you anymore. I told Red that even though I have other works, I will always give you a priority spot when possible. You will always be my special baby. I also think it's important for you to work on projects that you're excited about, blah, blah, blah. I know Red can be a little pushy sometimes, but it's because he's just doing business for me to grow too, and he absolutely loves your work as such. Okay. Red tries to make it look like they never meant for it to appear like they wanted me to be exclusive by framing it as something I wanted, while immediately double downing on the fact that me working with more people makes my work less special and no longer unique, as if every design is just a Sinder clone. So it's about working with Sinder. My friends told me it's a bit unfair for me to stop other models, so I do more for Sinder, which I agree with them. I'm a free artist and I should do whatever I want to do. I don't want to take sides on any drama or situations. I will always have a way to have open slots for Sinder, but I won't be having her as my only customer. Legit, right? I mean, she could do that if she wanted, but I wouldn't do it without a contract and monthly payments. Red, I agree you're a free artist and you should do what you want, but I was under the impression that taking on more Sinder work is what you wanted to do. I didn't think it was like we were making you do that. You literally brought up exclusivity yourself, Red. What the fuck are you talking about? Like 100%, I don't know what the hell he's talking about, other than the fact that he's just trying to gaslight. I mean, what I said is still true about how we feel, but I wasn't saying you only had to do Sinder work from now on. That's with anything though, not just your work. If you have something special and then everyone wants and gets that thing, it makes it less special. Talking about her art. Sorry you were under the pressure we were trying to make you only work for us. I will keep things more business talk and less emotional. Just let me know if this will affect your schedule. I know you pour your heart and soul into your models, blah, blah, blah. It's just like they just keep talking about how it's just business. Let's see. It's okay, Nano. You're just making a living and making a name for yourself. And I can't blame you for accepting work from other big names in the industry and having very desirable talent. If you end up filling your model schedule again like it was, let me know. We'll have to replan some things depending on that. Thank you for understanding my side. We all try to get our names out there. I don't want this to be personal. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, business is business. If you want to go through the projects we talked about and let me know which ones you want to do. Then later, this is about blank model, Nano. She goes, yeah, I want to make it, but I don't want to disrespect Sinder. I just want to do pretty models. No hurt feelings. Business is business. You're a freelance artist. They're a longtime client. I understand the logistics of it. At the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you. So right now, I just don't think our other conversation sounded like I was trying to make you not work with her on a model, like her specifically. Just want to make that situation, blah, blah, blah. She asked if we're good. I'm stressing, etc. Then damage controls. Make sure none of this reaches other VTubers. It is all kept hush-hush while also providing proof that they know what they do is ill-intended and should not get out. As it would cause issue for Sinder's career to be painted in this light. Note that the uncalled for shot at VTuber1 is even spoilered a hidden message on Discord so that it wouldn't accidentally be leaked. Trying to be transparent as much as possible, blah, blah, blah. Redacted, you didn't tell this person you canceled because of Sinder, did you? No, I told them it was all health issues. I would never blame anyone. It's like, we never want to make you feel like we're making you or forcing you to not work on something. Sorry again, it sounded like I was telling you to only do Sinder work, which is kind of what they were doing. More random stuff like that. I think it's more like wanting her to recognize Sinder, even though it literally doesn't matter. So this is constant obsession with VTuber number 1 and claiming that she's asking for it by causing an unspoken competition, which is coming from absolutely no other source other than Sinder. I think it's more like wanting her to recognize Sinder, even though it literally doesn't matter. I feel like there's this unspoken competition between them, like they need to one-up each other because she can't get along. But I also understand her point of view. A new VTuber who people say looks, sounds, and acts like you becomes just as successful as you in a year. If she did recognize Sinder as an equal or a friend, then it would be like she's endorsing her quote-unquote copy, or like we've seen other people say, her replacement. They share a lot of the same audience, too. At the end of the day, this isn't about how much we make compared to her. We just wanted her to recognize, hey, Sinder's a big VTuber too. She got here on her own merits, just like you did. Get along. Okay. And the marketing potential and money they can make if they teamed up. I just know anything we do, she's watching and will take from or try to outdo. Then they talk about a figure on stream and how apparently they announced a thing and then someone else announced a figure. And they're totally copying Sinder. Then a month later, unfollowed her on Twitter and started taking her ideas, Sinder's ideas, like the flames and how she's basically rebranded to a more of fire Cerberus, using fire emojis all the time. Never did that before. It's funny because she used to call herself a hellhound, but stopped when Sinder grew past her and now uses Cerberus or Cerberpup or whatever her lore says she is, IDK. Yeah, so I don't know. It's like, I'd like to highlight the irony of expecting to be entitled to recognition for her own efforts and size when her own active efforts are tied to sabotaging this very same VTuber. Also, feeling entitled and insisting to be recognized by someone is odd. That is super odd. That's kind of narcissistic behavior. It's extremely toxic. Like, hey, I deserve for you to acknowledge me and talk about me and be obsessed with me or whatever. That's weird. I cannot imagine caring that much about any of this. I'm going to be honest. Why are you being so obsessive about this? So this was, I say it was Saturday. It was the middle of the night. It was midnight. So it was Friday night, that this got posted. And then immediately after, Rovali? Thank you for the Prime subscription. Appreciate you. Bao posts it. Bao shares it. And then also Bao shares it. Tweets, I was very hurt by someone I thought was a friend. Her own Google Doc. A second Google Doc, everybody. A second one is in the chat. And by the chat, I mean, you know, on my screen. What's up? I'm going to read it. Hydrate. All right. I am drinking tea today, funny enough. Okay. This is Bao and Lewis speak to what Nanolis has decided to share to the public and messages that directly mention me by name. I'd like to kindly ask everyone to refrain from turning this into a witch hunt. And remember, we are still just humans at the end of the day. Before I start, I want to point out that I am addressing both Sinder and Redacted, despite the messages being largely from Redacted. Many times throughout the messages, the words we, we're, are occur numerous times. As someone who was close and worked with Sinder over the years, I have firsthand experience on how Sinder and Red collaborate and the extent to which Red operates as her primary point of contact in her professional and personal projects. It is that experience that leads me to believe that all the requests and messages sent by Red were both known about and approved by Sinder. In March, I announced one of my subathon girls was a live 2D model. Nano was going to be the illustrator, so the artist. After she finished both the design and base model sketch, there was suddenly back and forth over whether or not she had the physical and mental capacity to continue my model. I was very sad as I had not only teased a screenshot of the model's sketch on Twitter, but I'd grown very attached to the design and showed it off to all of my friends. In a private group chat that Sinder was a part of, I shared how devastated I was, and she did not comment or say anything despite others in the group chat comforting and reassuring me. I now realize that the reason for her silence was because Sinder and Redacted were deliberately sabotaging ongoing commissions and blocking VTubers such as myself from having access to art from Nano. So here it is, that screenshot again. We can pay blank for you. You don't have to discount it from the next payment, blah, blah, blah. You don't work with Bao, blank, or blank at all. Again, models or art. At all. No more. Then this is not one about Bao. Let's see. At the second part of this, it's talking about Bao's like music stuff, I guess. I don't know. Nano asks Redacted why he's encouraged her not to finish my model. Redacted then lists my name amongst various VTubers as well as vendettas Snyder and Redacted harbor against each. Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor, constantly picking up artists that we work with. Now she's barking up the tree of our live 2D animators. Has a way of guilt tripping others to get her way. So completely talking about Bao. This is what Redacted lists as many reasons why Nano should cancel her ongoing live 2 commission with me, all while continuing to collaborate with me and pretending to be my friend. So basically, Sinder is continuously collabing with Bao, pretending to be friends, and stabbing her in the back at the same time. That is not what friends do, everybody. Do not be that person. Oh, there you go. This is not what friends do. Friends do not sabotage other friends out of business opportunities. Friends do not spread lies to fuel selfish narratives. They do not use private information they get from the privilege of being close friends to use that to manipulate others. If stepping on your friends and abusing your power and connections is how you get to the top, then I hope you realize no one will be left when you get there. Also, eventually they might come for you. I'm just saying. So this screenshot again, Nano specifically saying that she is scared to cancel with Bao. Redacted saying you shouldn't be. She has many connections. She'll find somebody else. Like whatever. More screenshots of them urging Nano to cancel the ongoing live 2D commission with me. Even mentioning how excited I was about it and showing them the design during Snyder and I's concert at WeebCon. I wouldn't offer it for like. Okay, hold on. Don't sell yourself short. I think she'd be fine taking the design and finding someone else. I would offer it for free, maybe half price if she starts shit. LOL. I don't know what I have ever done to either Redacted or Sinder to deserve this level of vitriol towards me. I don't remember having any issues or any problem that couldn't have been solved by talking. Regarding the messages where Sinder and Redacted openly accused me of stealing their YouTube editor, Bosch Rush music video animator, as well as any other artist they have worked with. it's talking about how Bao's management, or Bao, I guess, sent an email to Chelzor. Chelzor was like, yes, I'd love to work on a video for you. Just sent a friend request on Discord. So, business. She hijacked our YouTube editor. Their YouTube editor, Chelzor, was a mutual YouTube channel editor for myself and Sinder. My channel manager, Jun, and I asked Chelzor for one stream highlight per month, as we were aware of his extensive position as Sinder's channel manager. So I was wrong. Apparently he was working with Sinder first, or at least more. I don't know. I made a point to note this in my inquiry email to him in 2023. So apparently, I don't know. In March, I started a group Discord call that lasted 5 hours to hang out with my editors. In this group call, Chelzor shared with us that he was afraid to ask Sinder for a raise because he initially turned down an exclusivity deal. So she's actively going around trying to get exclusivity deals, but how much of that is an actual contracted exclusivity deal, and how much of this is just like, hey, don't work with so-and-so and work with me instead? Because that's not really what that means. It's not. I don't know. As a friend of both Sinder and Chelzor, I encouraged him to take the deal and reassured him that it would not change our friendship, as I would never want someone I care about to miss an opportunity, even if it meant I would lose him as an editor. The other editors who were in the call can collaborate this. I'm sharing this context because there's... Hello. Robway, thank you for the raid. We are talking about drama. Buckle up. I'm sharing this context because there are no words to describe the hurt and betrayal I feel knowing that the other side of this conversation, Sinder and Redacted, were actively portraying me as a thief and a detriment to their business. I have only ever supported them in their activities and never once thought that I had somehow gotten on their nerves. Then they talk about how her songs flopped and she was very hurt by that narrative, and how she's apparently feeling petty and jealous towards Snyder, and that's why she's trying to hurt Snyder by taking away... I keep calling her Snyder. Sinder. I can't read, obviously. I'm so sorry. Sinder. Y'all are gonna be so annoyed at me in the in the comments. That's fine. Sinder. I know. I just keep seeing the S, and for whatever reason, it confuses my brain. We're gonna talk about the Snyder Cut now. I think I'm in it. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, and by in it, I mean like we're only on document 2. There's a lot. Can you see all of these tabs I have open? Anyway. So Bao was going through it. I'm gonna be honest. We're 9%. So, you know, she's hurt that they're weaponizing like vulnerable moments. 99% sure she told Sacramore, maybe, not to do any more with Sinder. I've been saying Sinder for like days. I don't understand why I can't say it now. Sinder and Redacted are referring to my animator. Might need to take a break. Who I have been working with since 2023. We're gonna call him Sack. Brief about how long we worked together. Sack asked me if he could go completely exclusive for me and work for me in-house with no credit in order for him to be able to quietly work on his personal projects and brands without having VTubers ask him for more commission work. I was happy to accept, and I wanted to reiterate that this was Sack's decision and no one else's. Here's proof of Sack mentioning his wishes to be my in-house animator directly to my channel manager back in 2024, refuting Redacted's claim that I locked him up due to Boss Rosh's success. Is it fine going forward I don't be credited in video descriptions? Okay, thank you. I'd rather be more an in-house type of thing for Bao after this thing is done. It's the last commission I'll ever do for anyone besides Bao, and want to make a name for myself through my own content and not really my work for others. So he wants to release his own stuff and be like, hey, recognize me for my own stuff, not just because I'm working with Bao, which is legitimate. I get that. Why aren't you solving this privately? Some of those messages from Nano's document dates back years. I found this out less than 48 hours ago, and they did not give me common courtesy of talking to me privately about this over the years. My thoughts, feelings, and my most vulnerable, darkest moments that I've shared in confidence with people I thought would be by my side years and years from now may have been used as information to ruin my chances to have the same VTuber model as someone I thought was my friend, and I didn't know how I can ever be the same after this. And then refrain from spreading any harmful speculation, etc. Thank you for taking time. So that was Bao. And then Cottontail said something. So that was Bao. Then Cottontail steps into the ring. This made my stomach jump to read. It makes me very sad to have things come out like this and Nano and Bao so much love. Listen, I'm gonna say it. Like, as much as VTubing is kind of a niche community, because it kind of is. I mean, you might not agree with it because they're all over your feed because that is your interest. In the grand scheme of life out there, it's kind of a niche community. Bigger than you think, but also smaller than you think, funny enough. But no, it's a popularity contest. It's just like cosplay all over again. Like the cosplay community all over again. It is a popularity contest. It's like a beauty contest. And there's always petty shit happening. There's always drama happening. It's exhausting. This is why I don't talk to anybody. I'm just too tired for this, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, anyway, Cottontail enters the chat. She enters the ring, guys. This made my stomach drop to read. It makes me very sad to have things come out like this, sending Nano and Bao so much love. Why is Cottontail involved? Because she was one of the ones that she wanted blacklisted from Nano. So now we have 2 of the 3 blacklistees. Don't work with Bao or Cottontail or somebody else at all again. Bruh. All right. Then we get Sack, which is one of the animation editor people for Bao. Feel free to read if you want. Go show love and support to both Nano and Bao, though. We're gonna read it. All right. It's gonna be very organized, and I'll try to keep it brief since I don't really think they, read specifically, deserve any more of my attention after hearing what they have said about me. So this is how working with them was. First off, to address this. Oh shit, yeah, that's super weird. They shared this, like, after finishing up 2 more comms for Peeps, I'll be shutting down my comms forever and editing anonymously in-house for Bao. Freelance has been fun and got to work with lots of really cool people, but I'm putting myself and Bao content as my only priorities in the future. Red says, anonymously in-house as in, will never be credited publicly so no one knows who does this work for Bao. This literally reads like a hostage note. I asked to be anonymous since I would like to be separated from being known as a freelancer. No one does this. No one decides to do this on their own. This was 2 weeks after Boss Rush came out, which is Cinder's music video, right? Sack says, I asked Bao to go anonymous and in-house because I've been wanting to focus on my own projects for 2025 since I have spent pretty much all of 2023 to 2024 doing videos for others and was having a lot of people/companies reach out asking me to work with or for them, and I am not good at saying no to work opportunities. Since in general, being just an editor is not a long-term sustaining thing in most scenarios, hence why a large majority either turn to becoming managers or their own content creators with their own platforms. So I just wanted to be left alone this year to work on other things than just editing for other people, which is why I want to be separated from my commissioned work since I do not like the idea of being labeled an editor. So he wants to be his own, like, content creator. But all he's getting is just flooded with editing requests. And he's like, okay, I have made the decision to be an editor for just Bao. That's sustainable for me. And then I can focus on my own stuff and be a content creator in the long run. That's his goal. We accept it. We appreciate it. We support it. All right. Okay. Redacted, well, we love working with you. Sinder wouldn't be Sinder without Nano, blah, blah. Okay, so no. About the MV thing, Bao had original songs last year, but whatever. We've already read this. Sack then goes, when me and Sinder initially discussed working on a music video project at TwitchCon. Everything was fine and friendly. However, the part that is stated was practically jumped through hoops is, well, a bit of an overstatement to say the least, since they had asked me a significant amount of times trying to get me to work with them after I told them no multiple times, and I only said yes because they offered double pay. So they claimed this editor, Sack, jumped through hoops, was basically begging them to work with them. Like, I want to work with Sinder. And it turns out, according to Sack, that they had been just constantly bothering him. He was saying no, 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 thank you, no, thank you. And finally they were like, what about with double pay? And he goes, sure, fine, whatever. So this is it. You wouldn't happen to be available for an MV in a week or two, would you? I'm completely full every day this month. The earliest I could do is November 9th. No problem, 100% down to do one after that date. Sorry to bother, but do you know the exact release date, since I would still try working on something out to fit y'all in if you want. Is it okay if I let you know in 2 to 3 days? Hey Red, thanks for waiting. So been trying to figure out if there was any feasible way I could slide Sinder into my schedule this month, but between moving in my new apartment this week and the Halloween album, I think November 9th is the very earliest I can start. I'm so very sorry, but if there's any projects after that date y'all would like me to do, I can lock y'all into my calendar 100%. Again, very sorry for the inconvenience. How long does it usually take you? Depends on the length. How do you feel about giving everything for the MV now, work in between your other projects, and have it to me by the end of October? October? Like, he says he can't work on it until the 9th, but you want him to just basically not sleep or eat and just work on it constantly and have it to you by October. Okay. That's like, I'd really like to be able to squeeze all in, and absolutely would if I could, but I genuinely don't have any days free until November 9th at the earliest this month. And start of November is literally just an ass beating for my schedule. Okay, thanks. You're missing out on a good one. When was it you were free again? Things have been pushed back a lot. November 9th is my last MV for Bow until the week of December, I think. When is Sinder's coming out now? When it's ready, LOL. I'll probably start working on it a day or two after I wrap up Bows, just in that case. The song has a lot of topography. Is that something you're good with? It's like, can I hear it? If not, no worries. Just so I can get an idea. Is it Japanese or English? Is it just one still image she's using for artwork? No, I can send more details in a week or two. That'd be good. Just hit me up if you got more info. So that happened October 23rd. November 12th. Are you available? Sorry for forgetting to get back to you so late. Or for getting back to you so late. All good. I'm still 100% down to do it. I'd just be able to like start first or second week of December for like a mid-December release, if that's okay. Redacted. We were hoping for an end of November release. You didn't contact him in time. It's like, oh yeah, that'd be impossible for me. Like I said, I'm still super down to do it and really hope to be able to work with Sinder on the video, but my schedule is always super packed, fully planned, weeks and months ahead without much wiggle room. So just let me know what you want to do or feeling. What if we pay you double? We can send the invoice to whatever, whenever, we'll get it paid ASAP. Also, I'm not sure what they're on about with Bao not knowing about me working with them, since I asked Bao with Sinder and Red standing right next to me at TwitchCon if that was fine, since I had agreed to do all the Halloween album and would probably miss one of the songs, and she agreed, no problems. Also, the stream was pushed back for the reason of the video wasn't done yet. Song was going to be up at 2 p.m. if I remember. However, this part really got under my skin due to the fact that it was just straight up not true. And if something goes wrong in the video production line, no matter who's at fault, the blame will fall on the editor/animator pretty much every time. Still not sure why stream was pushed back. So it felt as if I was getting passive-aggressively blamed publicly on stream in front of thousands for the lateness really upset me since the video was not late, even under a very tight deadline where I did not even receive all of the artwork until the 18th. The first full master until the 19th, and was then asked to also make a teaser version as well as an ad for the end of the video for their merch on the 21st, which I was not informed of at all prior to the planning. I also had skipped going home for Thanksgiving after having a family member pass to get this video done and rush the hell out of it. Entire video was done from scratch in a little under 2 weeks, since there were quite a few both visual and audio assets I did not have at the time that even remotely resembled what the final product would sound like. So I felt this was an attack on my work ethic, which is something I take quite a lot of pride in. I did not receive the merch assets until the 27th as well either. Thank you for hands. Even with revisions and all the extra trailers, the video was completed and delivered on time with enough time for YouTube to process the 4K version, which is crazy. YouTube processes can take time. There's probably more that I should clarify since I'm aware this is unbelievably poorly organized, but I'm very tired and I don't feel like giving more energy to these people. If there's anyone who has questions, just send me a DM. The fact that they didn't give him all the information and then added extra random shit at the end and then just blamed him for shit, like, this is the thing that happens, is like, oh, it's not my fault things are late, or not my fault, it's this other person. But you, like, you think that's not gonna cause I wouldn't want to work with them again either. I'm gonna be 100%. If, like, this is how he was treated by them, I would not want to work with them either. Just straight up, like, no thank you. I disbelief, like, oh my god. Then we get Jun. Jun is one of Bao's management team, I believe. Yeah, it says right there. I can read. What's up? Hello, I'm Bao's channel manager, and yes, I was there in the call with Kaiser, Bao, and Sak, and Bao encouraged Kaiser to take the raise. It was definitely something she thought would be best for him. Bao supported any opportunity or anything Kaiser would choose to go do, I guess. So that's just him being like, or them being like, yes, I agree that that happens. Then Vam Peaches come in. If you don't know who Vam Peaches is, she rebranded kind of recently to Vam Peaches from, I believe, Just Peaches. She is actually one of my VTuber siblings. And by that, I mean, Sasu did both of our art. So we had the same illustration mom. So, hey Joe, what's up? So Van Peaches comes in. As someone who has questioned their worth in this space at least 2 years because of the same person, this line hit very hard, which is the line Bao said, which is if you basically get to a high space by stepping on your friends or people along the way, you will realize that you're up there alone. Very not pretty way of saying what Bao basically said. It's difficult to know what to do when someone you thought was your friend, who you are VIP in their Twitch chat, who you offer to help and comfort to, one day just acts like you don't exist anymore. You tell yourself you must have done something seriously wrong for a friend to treat you like that. Reading the documents that are coming out today and my heart are breaking. My heart really goes out to Nano, Bao, and anyone else who has been affected. Although my experience is not as egregious, I still want to have my voice heard since it was affected me a lot the last 2 years. I knew Sinder 5 years ago when she was Tashu.mp3 and stood by her like a true friend, even when she was being dragged by the ASMR community for misuse of other people's scripts. I supported her VTubing journey. I did everything I could to be a good friend to her. Then after meeting her at Paris TwitchCon, things seemed to change. I felt discarded. I felt like I must have done something wrong for her to ghost me all of a sudden. It's been painful to see someone you thought was your friend constantly on your timeline, to be asked by your community who knew you were good friends if you're ever going to collab. I kept asking myself what I'd done so wrong for her to just drop me like I meant nothing, but I guess now I know. It wasn't me. I was just one of the first to be stepped on, and in hindsight, maybe it was a blessing that I was left behind. I don't write this for sympathy, nor do I want it. I just want my community to know where I stand on this matter since it was assumed that we were friends. Once again, my heart goes out to those who have been hurt. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right this. I have had friends like this. Okay, I have, legitimately. Specifically toxic friends that are just trying to use you for clout or whatever, and they think they can get somewhere by stepping on you, whatever. When the trash sees itself out, that is the best thing that can happen, because if not, you're in for a headache. Let the trash take themselves out and be like, glad that happened, moving on with my life. I've been through both, I'm gonna be honest. It sucks, it hurts. Just be glad that she saw herself out and that you didn't have to deal, like, yes, you were a little sad for a little while, but, and you are sad now, but like, you know, you're just like, oh wow, dodge that bullet. That's at least how I feel about it at this point. I have attachment trauma because of shit like this, so now I have a hard time attaching myself to people. It's not great, but like, you know, whatever. All right. Then, boom, this happened. Sinder posts, effective immediately, redacted, will no longer be managing or overseeing my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a creator, my brand, or my intentions. So at some point, he did represent your intentions. Okay. I'm sorry, everyone. I will make a larger response when I am able. Van Peaches once again. I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you first debuted, like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met for TwitchCon, you switched up and said, just so you know, my manager is coming with me on this trip. As if I didn't know who he was. It's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he's your significant other and that you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the Red side of this duo. What does that mean? She's gonna throw Red under the bus and take no responsibility or accountability for any of this. That is what is going to happen. 100%. Have we seen it before? Yes, we have. Will we see it again? Absolutely. That is also, I think personally, the best option she has, PR-wise. Like, it sounds bad, but that is like the best option Girly Pop's got to try and save her career. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Here's the thing, though. If you're gonna be a shithead in a chat, expect that chat to be leaked. I'm telling y'all this right now. Expect anything you put in text form on the internet to be leaked at some point, especially if you're going to try to be kind of shitty to somebody and you're talking shit about other people to that person. Expect them to try to end your whole fucking career at some point. Like, even if they never fucking do it, you should expect that to happen. All right? Don't be shitheads. First of all. Second of all, don't leave a paper trail. Just saying. Anyway, moving on. Rain came in. My experience with Tashi, Sinder, by the way, cheating. I might just, instead of reading all of this, kind of explain it really quickly. So, before she was Sinder, she was Tashi.mp3. We're just gonna call her Tashi. She was an ASMR person. I guess she had I guess she didn't show her face. She just kind of had maybe like a PNG or like an OC. I'm not sure. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll get to that later. Whatever. Basically, they became friends, I guess, and they started chatting, specifically, I think, through Discord, supporting one another, and then end up sexting and all this other stuff. And Tashi would complain about her significant other, who we believe is Red at this time. And she's kind of cheating on her significant other with Rain by, if nothing else, emotional cheating, and then also sexting, that kind of stuff. At the end of this, I thought it was really interesting. So at the end, after Sinder got done using me for fleeting sexual gratification, our conversation slowed down, exacerbated by the Sinder character coming into fruition and finding immediate success. I'd stopped making content for a decent length of time by then, and thus she no longer felt she could ladder climb from me. So Rain feels like she's just ladder climbing with him. That's all that's really happening. Until eventually she stopped using that account altogether and committed fully to Sinder, and I never heard from her again. Something that was I was uncannily aware would happen back then. Rain messages, I'll message you at this time in 2022 and you won't even remember who I am. Tashi, I'd never forget you. And that's pretty much it. It wasn't mean to be a witch hunt. We all make mistakes. So in this one, she goes, I've just been on the VTuber side of things, working with commissions and whatnot. Like what? And Sinder doesn't want to be my friend. Only Tashi does. She claims it's just easier not having multiple ongoing conversations. So she's basically like cutting off everything Tashi related and completely switching over to Sinder. I understand that mindset. I understand why that happened. She probably should have done it in a nicer way, I guess. I don't know. But it was really like, cool, I'm done with you. Bye. Don't want anything to do with you again, which is what he at least felt like, or they felt like. Right. Now, Spite comes in. Spite is the one, by the way, that apparently so many people compare them. One of the ones that so many people compare them, by the way. He was totally looking for a witch hunt. He might have been. Sexting is the ultimate form of don't leave a paper trail. Okay. I want to start by saying, do not send any hate to anyone involved in this. I only wish to speak about my experience and give more clarity on those experiences. First and foremost, my love and admiration goes out to Nano for having the courage to bring this up, or bring this to light. Artists are the backbone of our community, and taking advantage of her good-willed personality is saddening to see. I want to take the time to address what has been brought to light involving myself and what I've experienced over the years that coincide with these events. In the screenshot, the VTuber that is being talked about is very clearly me. Since the beginning of my VTuber journey, it has been written in my backstory and lore that I am the daughter of Cerberus, and through an unforeseen summoning mishap, the Greek goddess Hecate. As many may know, Cerberus is a species of hellhound, and I've always incorporated the number 3 in my designs to follow the 3 heads of Cerberus. In my early design, and when artists are still learning new model/rigging techniques, I had opted for 2 other wolf heads on my shoulders as pauldrons to symbolically represent my other 2 heads. However, the repeated comments of, if you're a Cerberus, where are your other 2 heads, had pushed me to the use of broader term hellhound at the time. Fast forward to 2 months to a year into my journey, and I started to receive harassment and berating comments and chat messages on Twitch and YouTube videos comparing me to Sinder and putting me down for being a hellhound. Making the definitive switch to the Cerberus label brought me a sense of relief, because the last thing I wanted was to be constantly compared or harassed at this point. I didn't want to be associated with her at all due to the negativity that was being thrown my way. So this is the one where it's like a month later, unfollowed her on Twitter, started taking her ideas like flames, and now she's rebranded to more of a Cerberus, using fire emojis all the time. Never did that before. Used to call herself a hellhound, but stopped when Cinder grew past her, and now uses Cerberus or Cyberpunk or whatever her lore says she is. Etc. I don't know. As for the claims of unfollowing her and taking her ideas, I debuted my 2.0 live 2D model May 14th, 2022. On that same day, she decided to post her debut announcement for her 1.0 live 2D model. Leading up to this, I didn't know who Sinder was at all. I had no idea she had fire in her ears or she was another hellhound. The creator space is broad, and I still stumble across creators larger than myself that I had not heard of before. I never once stole her ideas. All I ever want is to try to be unique in my own way. So these claims that I was following her and then unfollowing and stealing her ideas are absolutely baseless and uncalled for. So May 3rd, attention, now that my account isn't restricted, I can repost this. I'm dragging you down to the underworld on May 14th, for my new model reveal debut. Sinder, May 14th, June. That's what happened. Once again, if you have flames in your ears, you're stealing from Sinder. That's it. No one else has ever had flames in their ears. Nobody else ever about anything. English is my first language, I promise, and I'm totally literate. All right. Her posting her debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off, but I shrugged it off as coincidence because things happened. However, this isn't the last. Thank you. The last time something like this had happened. There had been multiple times where I had done something in either the same day or shortly after. I was made aware that and had discovered later that something similar had been posted, making me feel like I was being watched constantly. Trying my best to believe that it was a coincidence and not ill intent on their part. There were many times I designed a new outfit that I was really excited for, but afterwards Sinder would release outfits or models with similarities to it. I didn't think much of that at first because it is normal to have some similarities or shared inspirations with other creators. See, look at that, a reasonable person. First of all, it takes a while to get art done. I mean, I guess if you have like a hey artist, I need this art done right this fucking second, and like you've been working with them and they have like your base model already and maybe they can throw it together. I don't know. And then like, but I don't know about rigging. Like, I guess if you have people on retainer, I fucking don't. So it takes me a while to get anything done, right? Like, I just get people as need or get things as needed. And like, this is just, I don't know, it's a little wild to me. My turnaround time is very different than their turnaround times. I'm also smaller. I don't know. I don't know if they've like, you know. The VTubing community is a huge space and similarities are normal. I'm not speaking to whether my designs were taking as direct references for hers. I'm addressing the need for the unprovoked tweets mentioned in the screenshot above and showing that I made statements to make it clear that I was not stealing ideas. How could I copy something that was released, teased, or revealed after my own? On July 20th, her model mama, I'm not, my live maybe? And I worked on a comfy golf girl outfit. I had rips in my t-shirt, a G-string shorts, and spiked wrist cuffs. 2 weeks after, Sinder debuted a similar outfit. I included the earliest image that I could find of Sinder with his outfit. I received many negative comments about my design from people assuming that I copied her when I debuted it 2 weeks before hers. I got called off-brand Sinder and just a bunch of horrible things. So July 20th and then September 14th. Similar stuff going on, I guess. Ish. I mean, again, you know, there's not a whole lot of super unique ideas in the grand scheme of things. Like, I'm not even faulting Spite here. I'm just being in general. How many characters do you know that are lilac light purple and white with like gray accents and silver hair? Because there was that drama with two VTubers a while ago, and I'm just sitting here thinking like Amelia from ReZero. Like we like that color scheme. How about blue, white, and gold? We like that color scheme. Black, gray, and red. We like that color scheme. Black and gold. We like that color scheme. There's like human beings, society. We like certain colors together. And they're popular and we see them a lot. You can't claim like, hey, if you like metal or like goth stuff, yeah, like a ripped tank top, ripped t-shirt, whatever. Like, these are all design elements that exist already. You didn't make them. I'm not saying Spite did make them. That's not what I'm trying to say. I am just saying, yes, there's going to be coincidences that happen. Now, this is a little suspicious that it's happening like on top of one another. So like, that is a little sus. I get where she's coming from. Like, why am I being attacked for copying her when she's debuting the same things I'm debuting after me? I don't understand. And like, I get it. Like, I get it. I'm just kind of like, oh my God. Like, again, this is gonna come up again. I have a lot of feelings about this. It's gonna come up again. Anyway, so it's like, I discovered this merchandise that she used for the uwu market and had to do a double take because of the gray-blue skin tone used in the art. Several people thought it was me, and the similarities for this speak for themselves, I feel. I did not know about this. Apparently, Cinder has multiple colors. Like, so she has her, like, red form. She has a blue form. Apparently, she also has, like, a pink one or something. I don't know. She has multiple colors. I'm gonna be 100% with you. I might be the most boring fucking VTuber in the world. I don't have multiple colors. I have, like, the colors that I like, which are black and gray and purple. And I basically kind of just stick to that. Because when a VTuber completely changes everything about their color profile, it confuses me and I don't recognize them. Maybe that's a problem for me, I'm gonna be honest. It just confuses the shit out of me. I don't know why. Like, I very specifically, Zentreya and Iron Mouse confuse me a lot because they have so many different kind of models that look very differently to me. And I'm just like, I don't know if this is Iron Mouse or if this is someone copying Iron Mouse, like, you know? And then, like, I click on it and I'm like, okay, that's Iron Mouse's voice. It is Iron Mouse. I just don't know, right? I'm like, listen, maybe I'm just boring. I'm gonna stick to the color profile that I have. That's just me personally. I don't know. When you completely freaking change up your color profile, it confuses me because it's a brand thing, actually. I know exactly what the hell it is. We have to go through this with the conventions or whatever. It's brand related. This is why you don't see Coca-Cola changing the colors of their Coke cans or like their text. It is always white or red. Now you have the black for like the zero sugar stuff. But in general, it is like, you kind of like, branding is important. And you kind of have to stick with similar branding styles. People are gonna like give me a whole dissertation about like how I'm wrong, and like that's fine. Things do change over time, but it's usually a kind of slower change. It doesn't matter. Either way. For me, it's a branding issue. Like, when you change what I assume your brand is, it confuses me and I don't recognize you. Anyway, going on, this is just a me issue and I'm aware of it. Anyway, yes, this could be her. I don't know. This could be either of them. Because her hair looks very similar. But apparently she has blue hair. I don't know. Again, I'm confused about it. On April 29th, I designed a Greek goddess outfit on stream. On stream! I'm a Cerberus VTuber, so it fits my lore completely. I mentioned that it may or may not go into a future Greek goddess outfit because it fits my branding about 4 months ago. So, less than a year, but like, okay. Sinder debuted a Heaven Okami inspired outfit that was white and gold, resembling a Greek goddess. In the background for debut, she also included Greek columns. At this point, I felt like nothing I could come up with would even be slightly original to me. I'm aware that nothing is completely original, but I still wanted my own identity. There you go. Nothing is completely original. That is true. So this is her designing stuff. And then this is Cinder's thing. I'm not sure about that one. On April 20th, I debuted a new model from my model mama, Ari VT. I got a hoodie with a cute design on top and had side bangs covering my eyes on April 4th, 2025. Basically a year later, Cinder debuted a sports hoodie with side bangs covering her eyes similar to mine. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Hair aside, like, if we don't ignore the hair, I don't think this is weird. Partly because I'm in like the cosplay community still, and like kigurumis are a big thing, and they will make like hoodies like this or outfits like this. Like fashion brands will, that depict different characters, very specifically from Genshin. I'm not gonna lie, I see it most from Genshin, but still, I feel like this is maybe pushing it. I see a lot of like merch that is like this. I think that's a little bit of a push. I mean, the side bangs are maybe a little sus, but like, I think this one's a little bit of a push personally. There are some instances that I do not have screenshots of. For example, I remember posting about my first ASMR stream. That day I was supposed to do said stream. Sinder plugged her ASMR channel. Thought it was a bit suspect, but I brushed it off. I don't have screenshots of the comments and bullying that I received from her community. There were too many that had become too much to keep track of, and I just started ignoring them because I never wanted to save images of the words that hurt me. I didn't even want to read the harassing comments in the first place. I just wanted to be left alone and be happy in my own space. Sure, ignore negative comments if you want to. Like, who cares? Like, you're always gonna get haters, like, no matter what it is. And if you're getting harassed because her fans have decided that you're copying her, like, just ignore them. Like, whatever. I received a DM in January 2023. I will not disclose who the sender was without their consent. Sender expressed to me that they were getting bullied by Sinder and certain members of Sinder's community because she too had fire in her ears. I never responded to the DM because I want to stay away from the drama as much as possible. He popped in my feed. I love your design. Odd question. Have you had any messages from the VTuber Sinder regarding your design? This may seem out of nowhere, but I'm only asking because I made an OC a while back and I was accused by her and others of stealing her design because my dog girl had flames in the ears, and her fans and her claimed that it was exclusive to her design. Again, she's the only one allowed with flames in her ears. I'm sorry. It was this whole big ordeal on Twitter, so I wondered if anything similar had happened to you yet. I would like to clarify, I myself am not saying your design looked like hers. I was scrolling, saw your totally awesome design, and when I saw the flames near/in ears, I had flashbacks and thought to myself, oh no, this is just my curiosity getting the best of me. Very sad and disappointed in this situation, had my suspicions, never wanted to be a part of the drama, so I kept quiet. I've also seen what happens to others. I've seen what happens when a creator stands up for themselves and receives major backlash, even if they're in the right, which does happen, especially if the person you're going against is bigger than you. I've always designed my own models. I've gotten inspiration from Cerberus with Chains and Spikes, Disney's Hades, because I call myself a goth GF. I was inspired by Sam and Ember from Danny Phantom, plus many other of our goth crushes that we've had growing up. I focused on myself and my friends, meanwhile had eyes on me the whole time. Knowing that I was being watched and talked poorly about really hurts, especially when they never attempted to interact with me. I did my best to go through and find what I could to get appropriate screenshots. It's crazy because I didn't know who Sinder was until she debuted her live TD. I just wanted to exist peacefully as a VTuber and spend my time drama-free. I woke up this morning in shock. It's terrifying and hurtful to know that someone could attempt to blacklist me when I've never even spoken to them. I hope going forward that no one has to deal with anything like this. Thank you guys for being supportive to me, etc., etc. Yeah, so I know she's getting a lot of attention right now. Like, a lot of people are coming out in support for her, which is great. Good for her. Love that for her. All right. And then Silvervale enters the chat. Like, constantly. We're not done. I'm an hour and 30 minutes in. I'm also mainly just reading these things and giving my occasional opinion. But we are continuing. All right. Silvervale enters the chat. Also, I want to say what I just read about Spite. I want you guys to remember that. I actively want you guys to remember everything. Spite felt like she was being watched, that she was being copied. She's getting attacked for copying, even though she was debuting stuff first or showing it off first. She felt like someone was like that she was being copied, but she was being attacked for copying, etc. Right? She was also being bad mouth. She felt she was being put down. She just kind of like stayed quiet, but she kind of felt, I feel like she was being like, it feels kind of like she was being oppressed, right? Like, think about it. Hold that in your mind. I know I keep telling you guys the whole thing's in your mind, or like, hey, this is gonna come back around. I fucking mean it, because I mean it. We're close to me being like, this is what I was fucking talking. I have feelings. Okay, we're close. Okay, Silvervale enters the chat. All right. How can you hold all these things? Get bigger hands. Learn the girl, like, quit using pockets, quit having pants with pockets, and learn the girl way of holding just everything in your hands because you don't have any fucking pockets. Like, you'll figure it out. I promise. It's called spreading out your hands and then like the fingertip grip. All right. It's fine. You'll figure it out. All right. Introduction. I shouldn't have to say this, but me putting out the statement is not a call for an excuse for anyone to turn the situation into a witch hunt. My intention for making a statement is strictly to give myself closure from the events of the past years and clarify how I have been personally affected. I debated if I wanted to even say anything after being asked if I wanted my name in the original document censored, as the situation is much bigger than just my personal experience. However, after finding out how wide and extensive the transgressions were, I feel the need to give clarity to my situation and how I was personally affected. I want to note, as others have, that though a majority of the messages are from redacted, I find it impossible that he acted solely on his own intentions without Sinder's knowledge or consent, given the extent to which he has represented her publicly and professionally. Okay. So this was like model exclusivity. Basically, okay. I think the main things we're looking for are you not to take on any brand new model clients and not to make any new models or outfits with Silverveil again. So Silverveil is the one that they are very much trying to blacklist from Nano's art. You'll be able to work on other model/outfits with all of your other existing babies, and your artwork comms wouldn't be affected. Okay. We can pay for you. You don't have to discount, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But you won't work with Bow. We now know the second one is Cottontail or Silver at all. Again, models or art. I don't think you've done anything with Bow or this other person before. Whatever. We could do it that when Silver asks for art, you tell her no and then tell us to buy another art piece. Like, you would still get a job from it, just not from Silver. This is... Nano goes, I don't want to take any sides on drama. Redacted, is this about Silver's model, Nano? It's like, yeah, I want to take it, but I don't want to respect Sinder. I just want to do pretty models, no hurt feelings. Redacted says business is business. You're a freelance artist and Silver is a longtime client, so it makes sense to continue doing work for her. I understand the logistics of it. At the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you. This is back to her talking to Sinder specifically. I just want to let you know I love working with you in Red, but I'll understand if things don't work out because of Silver. I just love my clients. So they're specifically talking about Silverveil. I don't really see the point of thinking about being compared to Silverveil. You're much bigger already. You've done so much more, and I would never give Silver any priority over you. Also, there are not even any models for her being discussed. I just want to sleep with a clear mind, etc. So very specifically do not want Nano working with Silverveil. I'm Vtuber 1 and the screenshots provided by Nano in her document. I've been a friend and client of Nano for years, and seeing how she was manipulated and abused by Sinder and Red makes me livid. She's an absolute sweetheart and just wants her clients to be happy. It breaks my heart to see that she was treated like a tool and a resource to be used for growth rather than a talented living person, and gaslit into somehow believing that she was being treated how she was treated. She was gaslit into somehow believing that how she was being treated was okay. I'm so proud of Nano for having the courage to come forward to the affected people with all of this and to let everyone know how they were being unknowingly sabotaged. I've spoken with her privately, and I want her to be clear that I have no ill will or hard feelings toward Nano for her involvement in this. I urge people reading this to try and understand the emotional manipulation on display and empathize with her situation. There's a lot I could say about how disgusting I find their behavior towards the other creators in general, but I want to focus on my personal experiences. Cinder and I, discovering that all this was going on behind the scenes has been gut-wrenching. I didn't know Cinder, we weren't friends, and we barely talked. Even writing this, I do not understand what I could have possibly done to warrant the level of malice and cruelty shown. In our private interactions, I was as cordial as possible, but I just wasn't interested in associating with her professionally or being her friend. Which she has the right to not want to do. I'm gonna be 100%. You do not have to be friends with everyone just because they approach you. From the few uncomfortable interactions I did have with her, I had gotten the vibe that her primary goal was to climb the social and content ladder and grow her brand. I am fully aware how common that attitude is and that it's just how you grow in the sphere. But I personally don't have the emotional fortitude or bandwidth to have friendships for the express purpose of growth. For the record, I think it's fine to have that view and approach to content creation, but I also reserve the right to simply not vibe with somebody. I would much rather not associate with someone at all than pretend to be their friend for the purposes of growing my brand. So in other words, Silvervale clocked her bullshit, was like, nah, fam, I'm good. Have a good one. And I feel like Cinder didn't take that super well. The only time I had actually talked to her directly was during my meet and greet at TwitchCon 2023. I'd just finished my meet and greet, and as I was wrapping up, she walked directly to the screen to meet me and had someone else take a picture of us together. I was not informed of this picture or asked permission for it, and only knew about it once I saw it on Twitter later on. Stopped by to say hi after my meet, Wolf Girls. So this is basically what happened. Okay. Also, Cinder loved meeting you and wanted to collab, so I told her I'd let you know and I could throw you guys into a group chat if you were interested. Silvervale, hello, I appreciate the sentiment, but I prefer not to do collabs. Person, no worries. Hope you're having a good weekend. Silvervale, thanks. I'm just trying to stay busy with lots of IRL stuff coming up. Sorry for not being interested in collabs. I just like to do my own thing, but I'm always open to messages. Hope you had fun at the con and everything went okay. After the meet and greet, she contacted my manager at Mythic to ask me to collab with her. I told them I would rather not collab, but accepted her friend request on a Discord after turning her down. In private DM, she reached out and asked me to do merch and other various form of collab to be monetized, to which I again declined. I will always prioritize my mental health and peace over any potential profit that would make me feel used transactionally and put me out of my comfort zone. Also, I feel like I always feel a certain way in the VTubing sphere, very specifically because I'm not really trying to climb, I guess. I don't know. This is my hobby. I actually have a real job. I don't put 100% into this. I am going to be 100% honest with you guys. You should be careful with who you necessarily collab with. Especially if you're like trying to have a specific brand identity or whatever, you need to kind of be careful with who you collab with. That is business, by the way, Cinder. Like 101. Be careful who you associate with or have representing you in some way, because if you collab with someone, they are now representing you in some way. Do I care significantly less? Yes. But am I bad at collabing with people? Also, yes. Generally, I just play games with my friends and that's it. Like, I know this person, and if there's a problem, I can get off stream and be like, hey, yo, that wasn't fucking cool, man. Like, you know, I'm not super worried about it. That's me personally. I am not in the same grouping or sphere or bracket as the people in this, okay? The people being affected here. I'm not trying to say I am. I am saying business 101, it's just business. Business is business. You got to be careful with who you collab with. Silvervale's like, nah, man, not doing that. Take it and leave. Like, quit harassing people. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Silvervale goes, hi. Hi, Silver. Sorry for getting back to you late. I've been super sick from TwitchCon. I guess a lot of us got sick after the last couple of parties. I hope you had a good time with your meet and greet. It was nice to see you there. But yeah, no worries if you don't prefer to stream together. My manager suggested something more like sponsorships, merch, music, or some kind of other project together that maybe Mythic could help with if needed. I'd love to chat more either way, Silvervale. No worries. It's been super hectic and busy for everyone. Hope you're feeling better. I'm really flattered by the persistence. but I'm just not interested in transactional relationships with anyone. I hope you can understand. So she 100% shut that shit down. Like, hey, you are being persistent. I said no. I'm not interested in a transactional relationship. Like, straight up, like, there is no wiggle room here. She said fucking no, and she meant it. Like, I love this. She was like, absolutely the fuck not. I've clocked you, and I don't want it. Have a good day. Like, I'm like, damn. And like, when I said like she did not take it well, this is what I meant. Like I said earlier, like narcissistic personality. She fucking lost it. Like 100%, she lost it. Cinder did. How do I know that? These messages right here is how I fucking know that. This is all redacted, but still, this is talking to Nano about what their issue is with fucking Silvervale. At the end of the day, it isn't how much we make compared to her. We just want her to recognize that, hey, Cinder's a big VTuber too. She got here on her own merits, just like you did. Get along. And the marketing potential and money they can make if they teamed up. I just know anything we do, she's watching and will take from or try to outdo. Oh my God. Then they talk about the fucking figure thing. Cinder debut Saturday. Everyone hears about figuring it out, spinning figure on screen with figure right next to it. Silver stream yesterday. First stream since Cinder debut. Guess what? Spinning figure with figure right next to it, like the channel command figure. I think it's more like waiting or wanting her to recognize Cinder, even though it really doesn't matter. I feel like there's this unspoken competition between them. Like they need to one up each other because Silver can't get along. But I also understand her point of view. A new VTuber who people say looks, sounds, and acts like you becomes just as successful as you in a year. If she did recognize Cinder, it's equal to as an equal or a friend, then it would be like she's endorsing her copy, or like I've seen some people say her replacement. They share the same audience too. Silver does not give a shit and doesn't want anything to do with her. Like Silver does not care, is in her lane, was like, I ain't got the energy for this bullshit. I don't want it. I said no. And Cinder fucking lost it. She can't handle it. She can't handle that Silvervale does not care about her. Like, that's it. She fucking lost it. Like, holy hell. That is crazy to me. Like, oh, Silvervale just can't get along. She doesn't have to get along with you, but she's not getting along with you. She just doesn't want anything to do with you, but she's also not being mean about it. She's like, I clock that you want a transactional relationship and I do not want one. I do not want to collab. That's it. I just don't want to collab. And that is all you're after. Like, I've clocked that is all you're after and I am not interested in that. And it's fine that you're interested in that, but I am not. Take it elsewhere. That's it. They are so mad that Silvervale is not giving them the time of fucking day. Or I guess shouting out about Cinder or something. I don't even fucking know. Like, that's so... I have main character energy. I swear to God, I am the center of the fucking... Girl, it ain't about you sometimes. Like, calm down. This is insane to me. All right. Sorry. I'm just like, damn. All right. I did a new live 2D model in the works for my birthday with Nano, which was eventually canceled. I was devastated as Nano was the one who originally asked if she could do this model because she was excited to make it with all the new things she had learned. And my birthday was special. At the time, the reason given was health and stress reasons, which made sense given how much was on Nano's plate. And despite my disappointment, expressed my support for her prioritizing her health. I am now aware that the actual reason for her declining to work with me on my birthday model was external pressure from Redacted and Cinder. Words cannot describe how heartbroken I was and am. This is basically Nano canceling on her and claiming that it is for health-related reasons. Silver being kind of sad, but saying like, I was looking forward to it so much. I love your art so much. I've been so excited for the new model from you. I understand though, you have to prioritize your health and take care of yourself. I hope your health improves and you feel better. Make sure to get lots of rest and relaxation. Do you know if you'd be able to do it next year? Don't feel pressured or anything, just asking. Nano says, I believe I can still go for your model sometime next year. Yeah, it's like, okay, I know you have a ton on your plate and can't imagine how stressful it must be. Do you think you can still do the Gamer Subs tub art? And Nano goes, oh yeah, illustrations are okay. This is back to the Nano and Redacted comment about how she is canceling the thing because they want her to, basically. And they keep dragging her into drama. And then they also talk about Giri. Giri wants a nano model, I'm not. And Hope Silver finds someone else. I didn't think much of it at the time, but Sinder messaged me on Discord right before my model was canceled. She celebrated that we shared art, despite the fact that at the same time she and Redacted were actively working to take the potential for more away. Hey Silver, I just got your gamer stuff in the mail. It looks amazing. It's so cute that we both have Nano's art on our merch. Just use both our model. Mama. Girl, that's gross. Sinder Redacted spent years sabotaging me for no understandable reason. I've never done anything to warrant this other than just existing in Silvervale. They actively sought to get my models and art canceled, and based on the messages I have seen and shared above, seem to have not had any second thoughts in doing so. It's hard to express how crushing a feeling it is to be talked about so cruelly and maliciously without my knowing, and to know opportunities and friendships were taken away for what I can only assume is spite and insecurity. There's no end to the amount of anxiety I feel knowing that if these rumors were expressed to Nano, I have to assume they were expressed to others as well. I hope this document and other evidence presented will convince you that I am not the person that Sinder and Redacted tried to convince people that I am. Thank you for taking time, etc. Why does she have such a fucking hate boner for Silvervale out of nowhere? I know the answer to that. We're gonna get to it, but like, get over yourself a little bit. I'm sorry. Also, this is like, you know what? I really respect Silvervale being like, no, I don't want any of this. And because how bad would it have been if like they were quote unquote friends and all this was happening? The fact that she was just like, nah, like I feel like made it a little, like it's still upsetting and I get it, but people are always gonna talk shit. Like people are gonna talk shit about you. I don't care who you are. That's just life. Unfortunately, it's happened. It will happen throughout your life, no matter what you're doing. But like 100%, it is worse when it's your fucking friends doing it. So the fact that she was like, pass. Amazing. Okay. So that was April 26th, 5:18. So at 10. Okay. So 10 o'clock at night. Giga from Vshoujo comes in and goes, just realized why our project of mine was suddenly canceled. Apparently this also had to do with Sinder. So when they say Giri, maybe they mean this person? I don't know. Then Nyantails was the one in Spite's document. The one that DM'd that Spite didn't get back to. Nyantails, do we remember when she sent her entire following to attack me because I made an ASMR roleplay with this hellhound OC that was copying her? Or how about when she was actively liking tweets calling me names? Of course we don't remember because she made me delete every tweet regarding it after it happened. This mean girl behavior is not new. Smaller creators like myself are just intimidated into silence and pretending like it never happened. And then there's like, you know, someone said you're cringe and Sinder liked it. Because again, flame ears, totally original. No one else can use. Wouldn't Giri be Onigiri? Oh, maybe. I don't know who Onigiri is. I don't know who anybody is. This is not, y'all can hate on me. That's totally fine. I didn't know who Sinder was. I'm gonna be 100% with you. Like 100%. I didn't know. I do know who Silvervale, Bal, Shy Lily are. I know them. And Cottontail. I know who Cottontail is too. I didn't know the other ones. And Van Peaches. I know who Van Peaches is just because like we have the same VTuber mom. But still. I'm so sorry. I don't know who anybody is. It's fine. Probably. Anyway, moving on. What happens? The apology happens. Dismiss. I don't care. The apology happens. She posts her apology. She waited like... This got posted on Sunday. So everybody else is posting on Saturday. Everybody else is taking the time to type up their little Google Docs and shit, embedding fucking Discord screenshots and stuff, right? The way I asked, so do you know who Sinder is yesterday? Yeah, I did legitimately. I was playing video games with friends, and I know one of my friends, Zane, likes VTubers, right? And so I was like, hey, do you know who Sinder is? And he just went, yeah. Oh, buddy. Y'all going through it. All right. No. We're going into it. The apology happened. What do we think is going to happen in the apology? 1, everything is Redacted's fault. She didn't know anything was happening. 2, I don't know. Like, it's not going to be an apology. It's going to be, I'm sorry you feel this way. Nothing was my fault. That is what, when we need Joe's putting on the reading glasses emote. Somebody... Oh my God. All right. So the best thing I think for her to be able to do PR related is throw Redacted under the bus. Everything is Redacted's fault. I'm innocent. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so horrified, etc. PR related. Why? Because he's been the face of this whole situation. He's been talking for her, but she can make the claim, right? She can make the claim. So, let's get to it. There's nothing I can say to make this better, but I will try my best to properly convey my feelings, frustrations, and mistakes. Starting off strong, guys. I'd like to explain my point of view and apologize to each party affected. Okay. Redacted has been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do, and being a major part of why I'm here. We have also been in a relationship since the start of my endeavors. It's no secret that many VTubers choose to keep their public and private lives separate, and I'm no different. As of yesterday, he's no longer working with me, and I have not extensively discussed any of this with him. I do not believe that. Straight up. I will tell you why. Where our personal situation goes from here will be figured out between us privately. I never intended to mention us publicly, but given that the claims are out there, I want everyone to know I'm taking this seriously. After years of working on everything together, his hyper business-oriented outlook warped my view of what it is I should be doing and what should be important to me as I navigate this career path. I have a terrible work-life balance as it is, and being around projects and streams all day, every day, made me lose sight of the point. It took all of this happening for me to realize this behavior isn't normal or healthy, and it's not an outlook I want to have. This doesn't absolve me of the things I've willingly done wrong and went along with, or the way I've treated people who were fully undeserving. Okay, takeaway. 100% he fucking knows about this. 100% they took time, because she was like, he's no longer working with me on Saturday, and then was quiet and then posted this on Sunday. Why did they do that? Or she do that? Because they were discussing what to do and seeing what all was coming out. Like 100%. They were discussing what to do. They were being like, okay, throw Redacted under the bus. He's no longer part of the business. We're going to privately handle our private lives ourselves, which means he's not going anywhere, and he's probably still kind of in her business. Like, he's probably still working with her. But she's just making the claim that he's not, because she's throwing him under the bus. Like, that's what's happening. We know this. I'm not even hating on her for this. Again, this is the best PR thing she could have done. Is just like, it's his fault. It's not my fault. He's no longer involved. I don't know necessarily about, like, I mean, I guess being like, hey, we're going to handle our relationship privately, or our private relationship privately. That means you don't know what's going to happen to him, right? So the fact that he's probably still going to be involved with her, they're not directly saying like, hey, nothing is really going to change other than the fact that he's not going to be the one that responds to you on his account. On his redacted account. Who knows what account he will use from now on? That's just me personally. That's just my thoughts, all right? In regards to Nanolis, for the majority of the time working with her, Red was the one almost solely doing the communication about new plans and negotiations through his private DMs. Nano had a project server where we were all part of, where the actual art and models were worked on, but the conversations were focused around the work itself. I was not fully aware of the extent of Red's manipulation over Nano's commission's decisions, and I should have been more diligent in my oversight. In other words, hey, it's all Red making sure Nano doesn't use other people or make other people's art. Not mine. It's Red. So she's doing what I thought she would do. Every time I had been told that Nano had agreed to work on a new commission with me, it had been willingly and with excitement. From my point of view, she's generally wanted to be working on these things. I wanted to work with Nano as much as I possibly could, making her art the face of my brand. We had come to the conclusion that it'd be in my best interest to talk with Nano about making more time for my projects by negotiating with her to cut out other work. This was wrong of us to push on to her, and it was wrong for the other creators who wanted the chance of, and it was wrong to the other creators who wanted a chance of working with her. There was only one specific creator we were responsible for naming and pressuring Nano into reconsidering project with, not an entire list, except we have seen that it was Bao, Contel, and Silvervale. What do you mean? And you didn't want her working with Shy Lily or somebody else. So, like, there was a fucking list. Like, no, there was a fucking list. Like, what? 100%. She has plausible deniability for the other ones because she specifically didn't discuss the other ones with anybody, but she 100% discussed the quote-unquote one creator, right? This is what I mean. This is what I mean, but your shit's gonna get leaked when you post about it. This is the paper trail. She cannot claim plausible deniability with Silvervale. She cannot do it because she talked with Nano about Silvervale specifically. It's not a list. It's just a bunch of people's names organized in order. All right. Where was I? Okay. Of her own volition, Nano canceled a large portion of her model commissions last September. Not because she was pressured into doing it. She just decided to do it just cause. However, the claim that I was just using her is wrong. I've always treated Nano with respect, and as my friend, I did give her a lot of work, and we did everything we could to accommodate her schedule if she needed more time or a break, and even helped her with her own project payments multiple times. I've invited her on my stream, as I've sent her my merch and things she's done for me, and I always open to talking to her about things outside of our projects in the instances we would message each other. Regarding the exclusivity deal made between them, I had no part in the direct negotiations of their eventual agreement, and I had no knowledge of Bao and Cotton being included in this list, except she did know about the exclusivity thing because Nano messaged her about it. And when like Nano was like, hey, is this a problem? I talked with Redacted. Like I just want to make sure like everything's cool. She was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm aware of it. Like, girl, this is what I mean. You had to, no. You have some plausible deniability, but not as much as I think you have. Let's see. If I had known my friends were included, Bao and Cotton being her friends, I would have said something to put a stop to it. I am only aware of it being one person who I was unfairly pursuing. When Nano had messaged me about this agreement almost a month ago, or a month later, I was under the assumption it was only about Silvervale. I was upset, and my initial messages to her were very guilt-trippy, but I wasn't going to force Nano into doing anything she wasn't okay with and tried reassuring her that I was okay with her decision. They fucking manipulated and guilt-tripped Nano so hard, and she's trying to be like, oh no, we didn't like try to force her or like manipulate her into doing things that she didn't want, even though she was like, I read it and I was like, this girl's not really comfortable with what's going on, but she's like kind of feeling backed into a corner. That's me personally. It's really hard to figure things out through text. Like, it's really hard to figure out tone through text. I will give you that. Anyway. I don't know. This is just, all right. Anyway, I didn't know about anything except for being mean to Silvervale, and I wasn't trying to pressure Nano. Nano just decided that she was going to do it. Oh, I was a little guilt trippy, though. Yeah, whatever. All right. Let's see. Nano had also never come to me as seriously and professionally as her document was looking to address the issues she had with either of us or to terminate the partnership. Nano seems like she really got to a fucking breaking point at some point, and I have a feeling she mentions multiple times about going and discussing things with friends of hers and just not mentioning who's asking her all these things, like exclusivity, that kind of stuff. And her friends are like, that's shitty, don't do that. Like, that's basically the vibe we're getting from her. I have a feeling these quote-unquote friends were like, hey, this is not okay. And so she was like, oh, maybe it's not, because she's also like, hey, I'm mentally not well. This is stressing me out. Like, she mentioned multiple times to both Cinder and Redacted, like, this is stressing me out. I'm not mentally strong. Like, all this other stuff. Like, I'm scared to do this. I'm scared to not do this. Like, all this other stuff. Girl reached a breaking point. They pushed her too far. And so she lit the match, if you will. So, but no, like, I mean, you could make an argument of like, hey, she should have really just like contacted them, and instead of contacting them, she kind of blew up like this. But still, though, you know? Okay. Where was I? God, this is just, it's like huge word vomit. Okay. I like a lot of breaks in my paragraphs, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I had no idea there was even a conversation about Shy Lily recently between Red and Nano until reading her document. It's true I had confided in Red that lately I hadn't been hearing from Lily like I had in the past and was worried something was wrong. And that's as far as it went, and he took it upon himself to try digging for more info. And I was never even aware Nano was ever planning to work on a model for either of my friends, for another of my friends, Giri? Yeah. I do not condone anything about what Red said about Bao in those DMs either, and him using we and our in this contest is abhorrently incorrect, and I believe was done to gain greater credibility behind what he was saying. Yes, Red and I were initially upset when Bao hired my editor, and I took it personally when I shouldn't have. I felt as if maybe my content wasn't good enough, or like I wasn't paying enough for his work. But I accepted it and was happy for him getting that bag and supporting one of my friends at the same time. Yes, I was also upset when Sack, the Boss Rush MV editor, had told us that he won't be working on any future projects with us and would instead be working exclusively for Bao. So it is okay when she is reaching out to Bao's editors and the people that work with Bao to get them. It is not okay, by the way, for Bao to reach out to one of her editors. All of these people are freelance, by the way, and anyone can reach out to any of them for any kind of work. None of them are owed by Cinder or Bao. But, you know, it's okay one way, but not the other. Just saying. Just saying, that's a thing, apparently. I'm annoyed about that, too. But Red got in his head that it was Bao's fault that it happened and seemingly held a grudge against her for it. He was very passionate about Boss Rush and the potential future projects around it, but he told me that an MV editor as talented as Sack, the future projects wouldn't reach the same height, so he created this headcanon that's laid out in these DMs. Doing that because it's a huge thing and I keep losing my place. Still lost my place. So I wasn't convinced this was the case, but it's my fault for never speaking with Bao about these things directly to clear things up and letting it spiral to the point it got to. Every comment here about her own music guilt tripping and claims about our shared feelings toward her are disgusting, and I honestly don't know why he thought this way about my close friend beyond the resentment over those two things, or why it was worth sabotaging her over. Listen, I don't know about other people and their fucking close friends. 100%, right? Say it's like me and Abby, okay? And, you know, we're close friends, and maybe we share an editor or something. And the editor posts like, hey, I'm no longer working with anybody who is not Abby going forward. My bitch ass, being close friends with Abby, would be like, hey, bitch, what's up? Like, what's going on? He okay? Like, why is he not taking it? I just want to know. Like, this isn't even, I'm like, oh man, I missed out. But also, I'm nosy. I'm nosy as hell. And we're friends and we talk to one another. Like, hey, what's up? What's up? I'm nosy as hell. You're nosy as hell. Tell me your secrets. Let me whisper in your ear. Why don't you whisper in my ear what's going on? Like, you know, is that not how friends are? Like, is that just how my friends are? Is that not how you guys are? I was like, I heard my name. He's over here. It's like, because you're nosy, you ain't got beef. You're just nosy. I am. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm 100% fucking nosy. Good night, DB. I 100% want to know what's going on. So, like, but we're good friends, right? Can I not just message her and be like, hey, what's going on? Like, why? Like, do you have deets about this? Or, like, you know, maybe did he not like working with me? Or, like, but obviously it's not just me, right? It's everybody. It's just not you. So, like, hey, what's going on? Right? Like, I just want the guy. You might be a gossip. Maybe a little bit. I like gossip that doesn't have anything to do with me. Hell yeah. Again, Reddit stories. I'm just saying I am very nosy. I'm the nosy neighbor, except I don't talk to any of my neighbors. Because that would require me to leave my house or talk to people. So I'm just saying, like, would you not, Ricey, same with Ricey, right? Would we not, if this happened to us, one of us would reach out to the other one, like, give me the details. Like, let's talk about it. Hey, you want to go get lunch? I mean, it's harder when you don't live in the same town, but like, hey, maybe pop up on like a Discord call or like, let's arrange a sleepover, like something. We would 100% like reach out and be like, give me the details. Like, I don't, yeah, spill the tea, sis, what's going on? So I'm just kind of like, oh, my good friend. I just had all these bad thoughts and just, you know, I was talking shit about my good friend. Like, you just, if she's your good friend, why are you messaging her and being like, what's going on with this? Like, and as a good friend, you should be like, he wants to work on his own projects and just me on the side. Like, that's it. That's all that's happening, right? Like, I just don't. This is ridiculous. Like, I'm like, maybe you weren't very good fucking friends with her because you didn't feel like you could go out there and ask her for details about stuff. Like, I don't know. Listen, everyone is a little bit of a gossip. You cannot tell me otherwise. I do not care. Everybody gossips with their friends. What the number one thing people talk about? Other people, all right? Like, I'm sorry, that's just life. I mean, even if it's like people that aren't real, like even if it's video game characters or some shit, I don't care. You're talking about other people all the time with your friends. Like, I just want to say it's sus. All right. Anyway. No. The It's Just Business screenshot of my DMs with Nano's document was from November of 2023, and I'll go into my thought process of everything I said here. What Red was trying to explain to Nano is that if everyone has a model by her, then the innate value of her models overall are diminished by there being an oversaturation of that type of model out there. If everyone in the world had a VTuber model done by her, then the value of having her model wouldn't be the same as if there was only a handful of them, which he viewed as a negative for me. I understand where he was coming from with this, but in the VTuber space, this isn't something we should have pursued. Note she is not disagreeing in any way. So this is her thought process as well, I bet you. She is not disagreeing with this. She just was like, oh man, we should have pressured this and gotten caught, right? Y'all just talking about me in the comments now. So, Jesus. Okay. Nano has an amazing skill where she's able to draw each of her VTuber children uniquely, so I was never upset about seeing new model siblings. In many cases, I was there cheering them on at their debuts and looking to collab with them as sisters when I could. Me saying it's just business was referring to my acceptance of Nano's business decisions, whether she chose to work with me or not. I don't believe you. I also believe that she's very backstabby, like she talks about people behind their backs, so I don't necessarily trust her. Okay. This is not in reference to anyone's model being canceled. Further explaining to her that it's okay if she chooses not to work with me. I can understand where the next part can sound manipulative, but my intention was to reminisce about the journey we had together up to this point, since at this time I wasn't sure if this is where Nano and I would stop working together as frequently as we had been, and I'd have to look for new model artists. And I then encouraged her to work on projects she's excited about while I talked with Red to find a project that would work with her schedule. When talking about Silver, there's so much, I swear. Okay, when talking about Silvervale, I need to start at the beginning. Okay, before I was Sinder, I was a pink cherry blossom girl named Tashi that did ASMR content. When the VTuber boom happened in 2020, I knew I wanted to join in. Red and I contacted an artist in October, and we were set to start my VTuber design by December. The plan was to take my cherry blossom persona Tashi and make her a pink and white wolf girl VTuber. In November of that same year, Silvervale revealed her Sakura wolf design. Oh my god. I had heard of Silvervale earlier that year, but I didn't watch her streams at all. I knew we had to pivot before we were stuck with a design that would just be a copy of one of the most popular VTubers at the time. Like I've explained many times on my stream, I knew I wanted to be a wolf girl, so I mixed my love of Okami and metal music into the design and came out with a hellhound. My name was originally going to be Ember, but Red came up with the name Sinder since it was a mix of Sin plus Cinder, both hell and fire themed. It was only coincidence that it ended up being similar to Silver. I was genuinely interested in pursuing a friendship with her and drew fan art myself of us together. On the other hand, Red was in my ear the whole time saying how great working together would be, since again, he's been the business-oriented side of my brand. Y'all. Through random coincidence, two people had very similar design ideas or color ideas, and one came out first, and I believe that started the obsession. Was Red in your ear, or was he your echo chamber? That's funny. So this is about Silvervale, right? Again, I wonder, hey, here's a thought. Wolves are pretty popular. If you're an anime fan, Sakura, or even like Japan, a fan of Japan, Sakura, the flower, pretty fucking popular. Silver and pink are very like feminine, kind of girly pop colors. Pink and blue as well. But you know, I'm just saying, it would be so weird, right? Anyway, basically she couldn't do her original design, which was based off her OC of her ASMR channel of herself. This is what started the drama with Silver. 100%. This is 100% how it started. So she has probably kind of in her mind been like, Silver stole this from me, whether actively or inactively. It was stolen from me. I can't do it anymore because of Silvervale, right? This is what started it. Since I started streaming, I have been ruthlessly compared to Silvervale. This is what exasperated it. Like, that started it. This exasperated it. Being called the discount version of her, I was accused of copying her design, copying her personality, and even copying her laugh of all things. I was talking about this I was like, man, if someone came out and told me I was a copy of somebody, I would be like, first of all, who? Let's be friends. And by friends, I mean, let's follow each other and never talk, because I don't talk to anybody. But two, someone was like, you're even copying this person's laugh. Somebody has a bad car starting sounding laugh. Hoomst. I need to know. Let's form a coalition. Like, what do you mean? My laugh sounds like a car trying to start, all right? It's like trying to turn over. A very high-pitched diesel trying to turn over. Whomst else? I'm not even being like, who dares? I'm like, whomst else? Let's start a coalition. let's make a band. Except it's not a band because I'm not going to sing, but still, and I can't play any instruments. But like, let's go. You know, like, this is wild to me. Again, someone accused me on YouTube of having a fake coughing. And I was like, okay. That's a wild thing to think I'm doing, but sure. I mean, whatever, guys. Anyway. There was a large number of people who were diehard believers of the fact that I stole all of these attributes maliciously for my own gain, citing the art I posted of us together, calling her an inspiration, when in reality, this was referring to the decision to become a hellhound. The only time Silverveil was mentioned in the original designing of my character was when I explained why we were pivoting to something else, and there are no references to her character involved. I grew more and more resentful of Silver over time, between the constant belittling of myself, a controversy around my first waifu cup, and other incidents, even though she herself never interacted with me directly. And it was also the fact that made me insecure. Like, I wanted to know if she believed all of the things or not. It really felt as if she didn't like that I even existed in the same space. So to the point I was working with Nano consistently, we brought up not making any more models for her. If a VTuber model is how everyone recognizes you, then it'd be harder to compare us directly if we no longer look alike or have that shared similarity. Then why the fuck did you not find a different artist? Like, if it's your issue that you are having, why did you not find a different fucking artist? And the answer is like, well, I believe Nano is the best. So you're actively trying to sabotage Silver because you believe you have the best already and you want her to look different. Like, you don't want to look the same, but you're not willing to take the chance of finding somebody else. Like, you know? Like, come on. Like, whatever. I'm annoyed about this. Let's see. It was a wrong and selfish decision, but it made me feel better, and that's why it was a constant topic with Nano. Red pushed for this harder than I ever did because he knew how it affected me for years. But no matter what the outcome was, I wasn't going to walk away from working with Nano. Silver was completely undeserving of this treatment, and it was my own insecurities that led me to making this choice. I've become unapologetically evil towards her due to no direct action of her own. There is no excuse for any of this. This is, by the way, this is the apology part. This is the explanation part. And I have read this before, but I was like, she's just not going to apologize. She was just like, yeah, I was an asshole. Moving on. I was like, what? There is an apology part later. Spoiler. But I was like, excuse me? I'm like, what? Anyway. Just like, yeah, I just fucking hated this bitch's existence because she existed. 100%, it started off with she had an idea and someone else came out with the same idea, or she had an idea for design. Someone else came out with the same kind of design idea first. She had to pivot, and then people were like, oh, you apparently didn't pivot hard enough. I don't fucking know. People are weird on the internet. I've said this before. But it's like, oh, you're just copying her. You're just copying her. I don't really see. I don't know. Maybe she was. Who knows? I'm just sitting here like, cool. I thought Silverveil was a fox. Is she a wolf? She might be a wolf. She's probably a wolf. I just thought she was a fox. I'm gonna be honest. Again, I don't know anybody. I don't talk to anybody. I have no idea what's going on ever. She's a wolf. Great. Okay. So she's a wolf. A silver wolf. Like, that isn't even a unique concept, I'm gonna be honest. Like, not saying that Silverveil is not a unique concept or whatever. Being a silver wolf, though, I mean, again, I'm in the anime community a lot. There's a lot of furries around me. Like, I'm sorry. It's just, you know, Moon exists, okay? The wolf, all right? I think he's supposed to be a white wolf, but still, I'm just saying. Yeah, Sakura wolf is cool, great. But apparently they had the same idea. And just, Moon is a meme. Anyway, don't worry about it. Same idea. Silverveil came out first, debuted first, whatever, or shared her plans. I don't know, whatever. That started the resentment, and then the being compared to cemented it, and it became hate. I had a friend that did the same fucking shit in the cosplay community. Apparently, I don't fucking know how true this is. Apparently, anytime she would do a cosplay that another more popular cosplayer would do, people would compare them and all this other shit, and she hated that other cosplayer. Never talked to that other cosplayer in her fucking life. Hated and talked shit about that other cosplayer every chance she got. Every chance she got. She didn't know this other person. She never talked to her. That's just how some people are. Like, I just, first of all, I don't understand this compare and contrast thing. I really don't. Like, oh, you're discount so-and-so. Fucking okay then. I don't care. Like, I'm actually my own whole ass person. If we're doing similar things, we're doing similar things because we have similar interests. Guess how many people have similar interests? A lot. How do I know this? I run anime conventions. What's up? Like, people like things. Things become popular because a lot of people like them. Who cares? Resentment is poison that grows in the heart. Sure. Yes, you are correct. I'm just kind of like, why, like, I'm gonna say fans that are like attacking other people because they're too close to their oshis or their favorites or whatever. I'm like, this is weird. That's weird. It's weird. I'm sorry. That is wild to me. Why are you doing that? None of my fans don't do that. If you're going to be like, hey, you remind me of Chelzor, do it in a positive way, not a negative way. Don't be weird about it. And don't just say that either. Be like, I also like how she does this thing. Make it positive, all right? Don't be fucking weird, okay? I just think it's weird. Anyway, moving on. Okay, moving on from Silverveil, let me talk about spite. Important. Okay, everything that I just fucking said about Silverveil, pay attention, because I have a I'm gonna compare this situation, all right? Okay, moving on from Silverveil, let me talk about Spite. Once again, I had no involvement or knowledge of Red bringing up Spite to Nano in 2023. My personal involvement with excluding someone specific from working with Nano was Silver. My design sheet and outfit were finished and made public by the very start of 2021. The first thing she mentions is a teaser in 2022 that was apparently posted the same day as her original debut, which I honestly don't know if at the time this was intentional or not. I don't know when I first discovered Spite, and it could have been after she debuted. When I first debuted, I was very possessive of my design details. I had made it a year and a half since my design sheet was finished and public to having a full VTuber debut as I watched everything grow and change from the sidelines. And I didn't want anyone else to capitalize on my concept before I could. Soon after my original debut, I remember Spite getting an update to her model that made it seem like she more closely resembled me, including fire added to her model. Without evidence, I saw it and thought she must have copied me, but I never did anything about it other than voice my frustrations to Red. I didn't want to start drama with anyone, and I didn't have ownership over fire as the design detail. No, you fucking don't. You legitimately fucking don't. Okay. I will say there is like a oh man, should I share my design or should I not share my design? If I share my design, people might copy me. If I don't share my design, people might come out with similar design aspects, and then I will be considered the one copying, right? So you can't fucking win. Anyway. The references for the ripped shirt and shorts outfit on my bikini model was given to Nano in June of 2022 with the purpose of having a cover-up outfit that would be safe for Twitch. The merch art she's referring to was designed around my concept of my fire changing blue. The fact that the rest of the art was grayscale was the artist's choice since it was going onto the back of a hoodie and I didn't have a say, or at least I didn't counter that being the final decision. I'm gonna stop you right there. This is fucking Uwu Market, okay? And it was stated, and Spite said it was Uwu Market. You can change whatever the fuck you want about Uwu Market art. Anything you want. You can tell them that you don't like it and you want it to be completely fucking different, and they will change it. Ask me how I know. They will change anything that you ask. You can tell them, I don't like anything about this. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the art style. I don't like the coloration. I don't like this. I don't like that. They will change whatever the fuck you want. Why? Because they have a whole bunch of artists on retainer that work for them, and they're trying to make money. And they are absolutely willing to work with you about things that you do and do not like, about whatever the fuck art they're making for you. So that is not true. I'm sorry. 100%. Maybe you just didn't fucking care. And that's one thing. They have a lot of art on their website. Or a lot of their merch is this kind of grayscale with color pop on it. And by color pop, in this case, it would be the blue. So they would have like one key color. In this case, blue, and the rest would be like black and gray, and gray. Or white, so like grayscale. So 100%, this is not entirely true. She might have just not fucking cared. She might have been like, okay, it's the grayscale and we're gonna go with the blue one, like whatever, that's fine. But you can change anything you fucking want about it. So her coming being like, or at least I didn't counter that being the final decision, that one is true. She either didn't care or she was like, yeah, make it blue. Like, you know? It's not, I didn't have a say. You 100% had a fucking say. Like, no. I'm annoyed about this. I'm gonna be honest, because this is untrue. You had a fucking say. Like, okay. There's no intention to, again, she might have just not cared or not thought about it, but she had a say. That is what bothers me. I didn't have a say. Yes, you did. You know, I didn't counter that being the final decision. Sure. You might not have cared. You might not have thought about it. It might not have anything to do with spite whatsoever. You might have just been like, yep, it's going for a blue one. That's fine. Whatever. That is fine. I'm not demonizing her about this. I'm not demonizing. I'm complaining about the I didn't have a say comment because that is not true. Now, if you could be like, I don't want the blue one. I want it to be red, or I think she has a pink version or whatever. I don't know. Like that. It is grayscale artwork with a pop of color, but you can make choices. You can make changes, all this other stuff. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Now that I'm done with that little rant, I'm sorry. I'm just really annoyed about this. This is 100%. I'm sorry. This is 100% just assuming that people haven't worked with Uwu Market or haven't excessively questioned Uwu Market, because I have. Like, I make merch for my conventions, okay? I get art made for my conventions. I get merch made for my conventions, okay? I had a lot of questions that I'm sure most people don't fucking ask, all right? 100%. And also, I'm very particular about art that I like. And I don't want to be represented by art I do not like. Like, that's just straight up. So I was like, what if I don't like anything? Like, what if I don't like it? Like, what if I don't like how the art looks? Can I change artists? Like, all this other stuff. And they're like, yeah, if you don't like anything about it, we'll work with you. We'll change up artists. We'll change up styles, like all this other stuff. And I was like, great. So, just saying, you can make changes. Anyway. You are banking on the fact that most people don't know what working with Uwu Market is like. Like, that is what she is banking on with that comment. Which is wild to me because I work with a lot of VTubers. So if you are a VTuber that works with Uwu Market, then you fucking know. Anyway. There's no intention to deliberately look like Spite in this piece. Unfortunately, both my angel and sleepy outfits being similar to outfits Spite has done in the past was just a coincidence. I believe the sleepy one is a coincidence. That's fine. I don't know about the angel one because the angel one, despite being angelic, I don't know. I mean, like, we put angels in togas. That's a thing. I can't even, like, be like, oh, that's not right. We absolutely fucking do that. Okay. Spite has done in the past just a coincidence. I had always planned to one day make an angel counterpart to my demon outfit when it was being made in 2023, and my original reference sheet laid the groundwork for that idea. I never liked theming anything around my brand in a religious light, so I chose to make my angelic form more Greek Valkyrie than biblical. Biblical. What is biblical other than, like, Greek togas, basically? I don't know. You're gonna have, like, 20,000 eyes and be like, be not afraid. First of all, if they show up like that and be like, be not afraid, you're in for a bad time. Okay? Because if they show up more human looking, you're like, okay, things aren't bad. If they show up in their, like, actual form, like, you're about to go on a task. Congratulations, you've been chosen. Be afraid. Okay, anyway. Which also gives a similar look to my demon form. The sleepy outfit was a last-minute decision to pivot from a fully new 3.0 model because I had the opportunity to work with gamer subs on an AFK flavor. Spite never should have received the hate comments over her outfit or any comments comparing us or belittling her because of my existence, and I never advocated for anyone to do so, especially given my experience. Especially given my experience. It is almost like this is the opposite version of this Silver Veil situation. Right? Yeah? Is this not reading very similar to the Silver Veil situation, except from the opposite end? I really feel like I read all of this with the Spite stuff, and I was like, it really feels like it almost feels like she is, or reads like she's doing to Spite what she thinks is happening to her with Silver Veil. That is just how I felt was happening, like what I felt was happening. Anyway. Spite also brought up another creator who reached out to her about her experience with me, and I can only assume it's Nantails. They are an ASMR artist who at one point posted a Hellhound OC for one of their upcoming ASMR videos. It was undoubtedly created using me as a reference. This is right after my debut, and like I said, I was very protective of my design elements being unique to me, and I overreacted. Shortly after, I apologized and they agreed to adjust the character design, and I thought the matter was settled. 100% I don't care, she copied me. And so I attacked her over it. Anyway, that's what that was. All right. Let's see, at the very start of my online career, I was a GFE ASMR artist. I don't know what GFE is. 100%. Before I started my channel, I had gotten into listening to roleplay audios myself. I had always been a shut-in throughout high school and college, and I wasn't happy with where my life and relationship were at the time. Hey, pity me. After uploading my first few audios and my channel started growing fat. By the way, if you guys don't know, I'm in like full bitch mode. Okay. Like 100%, I'm in full bitch mode. I'm so sorry. I'm going to be judgmental as hell, and I'm going to be mean about it. This is what happens when I read this kind of stuff, and I'm so sorry. I am maybe not the best person. If you don't want to hear me being maybe kind of mean, you can leave. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. have to deal with things that are difficult, such as like letting people go or telling them they can't work with me anymore. Not me specifically, like conventions and stuff. I'm sorry, I have this knee-jerk reaction. The second you bring out emotional manipulation, I shut down and I'm no longer nice. Like I no longer empathize with you. The second you start emotional manipulation with me, it pisses me off. I have no idea why. It's a knee-jerk reaction. Probably because I've had a lot of toxic friendships and it kind of fucked with my brain a bit. But like, I don't react well to emotional manipulation once I clock it, like 100%. It is a self-defense mechanism. I don't react to it well once I clock to it. It pisses me off. Like immediately I am pissed off. So, she is explaining herself. She has every right to explain herself. She has every right to explain, her emotional situation and why certain things happened. And it is not kind of me to react negatively about this or pissed off or whatever. This isn't even about me. I'm not involved. If I react like that, I'm so sorry. Like I legitimately, I was like, okay, hold up. Calm the fuck down, me. This isn't even about me. Calm down. Like, take a breath. Okay. So she's explaining her life. Okay. I'm queen bitch now. What's up? Okay. Okay. After uploading my first few audios, my channel started growing fast. This was the first time I was inundated with so many people wanting to know me and talk to me, and I got lost in the excitement of it all, not fully coming to terms with these messages being because of the kind of content I was making. What is GFE? Girlfriend experience. Never mind. Figured it out. Okay, that is why. All right, I understand. Okay, this will kind of mess you up. I don't know. We've seen this many times where people like randomly blow up in popularity and suddenly like the non-popular person is suddenly extremely popular. And then they do really shitty things, right? This is not a secret. This is not that rare, unfortunately. This is a thing that happens. Imagine talking to people. Anyway. Let's see. I was immature and inexperienced with how to conduct myself online. I have never had many IRL friends and had met Rain doing ASMR. I quickly became comfortable chatting with him about everything, divulging my grievances about my personal life when I shouldn't have. I cheated on my boyfriend with Rain in these conversations, flirting and sexting. I used Rain for emotional comfort and sexual fantasy, while I let my real life relationship collapse. It was about my dissatisfaction with my personal life and escaping into messages with someone else who I found through content focused around GF and BFRP. It was never about climbing the ladder with Rain, and I find that being his takeaway from why I moved on baffling. By the time I was ready to debut as Sinder, I wanted to leave that in the past. Still, to this day, I regret my decisions and have been living with it since, and I was lucky to be able to mend my relationship after this. Okay. And when you're young, you do stupid shit. Don't do stupid shit. Don't do stuff that would hurt other people. Anyway. I'm trying to calm the fuck down because I took that like I was a little too heated and now I'm trying to calm down. Rooster, hi, we're going over drama. Thank you for the resubscription.
Hello,
you.
What I missed.
Peaches, not peaches. I read peaches. Cinder drama. And lastly, I want to address peaches. This is a very big problem I have, and I'm sure many others in my position do too. At the end of the day, I'm one person. I am one person working on multiple projects with multiple companies, talking to dozens of people, and streaming for hours almost every day. I've never had a big social battery, and I get tired very easily when interacting with people. I haven't had much energy at all over the past year, leading to me taking frequent naps. I thought that was a weird inclusion. I've been very drained, so I have been taking naps. Like, okay. Like 100%, I have a very small social battery. I feel like my social battery is actually shrinking, which is not great. I'm going to be honest. It's not great. Don't really love that, but I do get very much socialed out and exhausted being around people. That is just a thing, right? That does happen to me. I get it. You can still have friendships with people. My friends, love them to death. Very understanding of my social better situation. A lot of them are very similar. And a lot of times when we hang out, we're just sitting in the same room doom scrolling. Or we like come over to each other's houses and wreck shit. And by wreck shit, I mean tear up a yard or clean or do laundry or sit around while somebody else organizes or whatever. We often help each other, but like whatever. So like, you can get around stuff. I mean, I will go a long time without seeing any of my friends and I will just randomly, out of fucking nowhere, send them a meme. With no text, like just a meme, like, or a TikTok or like a Twitter post. Like you can still have friendship. Like you can still be friends with people, but like, I understand that it is definitely hard. Like when you're very busy to keep up, and you do have to have understanding friends that are like kind of on your same level. My thing is like, but I don't know. I'm also really bad about like responding to people when they message me out of the blue. I will absolutely be like, I'll respond to that later and then fucking forget. So that is a thing. I do feel bad for Peaches. I see why she feels the way she does, especially if she was that close to Sinder before she became big. It does feel kind of shitty. I don't know. It really just feels like, hey, I moved on without you. So without actually saying anything, I get it. I get both sides of this one, unfortunately. I still don't understand the comment about taking naps. Like that just, what does that have to do with anything? I guess it's like, I've been so busy with work. I've been so exhausted that I've had to take naps. It's just weird. Like it's honestly weird. I've really been able to keep up with my closest handful of friends on a frequent basis. So you are not a close handful friend. Even though you thought you were, you're not. Let alone everyone else. Red has been a big help in keeping up with things, but he doesn't do everything. I'm so sorry I made you feel forgotten, Peaches. I've always cherished your friendship, and I was so incredibly excited to meet you in Paris. I'm so grateful for everything you've done for me, and I've never thought to purposely drop you just because I could. I'm sorry. I know I made a lot of people feel forgotten and ignored. It's so easy to get caught up in projects or what I'm doing while I have the energy to do it, that people fall by the wayside. I understand the feeling of those who resent me over this, and all I can say is I'm sorry. I don't know. Something about this is a little sussy to me. I don't know. Something about it. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, First of all, Peaches, like, despite the fact that you assisted her and were apparently thought you were good friends, you're not good friends. It also feels like, hey, you met in person for the first time and then she distanced herself, so you weren't who she thought you were, I guess, in some way, shape, or form. Also, it's totally legitimate to grow out of somebody's friendship, if that makes sense. Like distance, work, all this other stuff. I'm sure you guys had like people that you were friends with in high school and college and stuff that you just don't talk to anymore. And it wasn't like a conscious decision. It just kind of stopped happening. That's part of growing up. I'm sorry if you did not know that. You just kind of stop being friends with people. And it's not a malicious thing. And it's not like something that you necessarily go, I'm going to stop being friends with that person. Like sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you just grow distant and stop, right? Because you're not close to each other. Well, you don't see each other every day. Right? Like in high school, you saw each other every day. In college, you might have seen each other every other day or every 2 days or whatever. Now you don't see them at all. Right? Or you're busy, you don't have time to talk to them or like whatever. I don't know about this one, I'm just saying, but like, just be aware. Part of growing up is that you will lose friends. It's harder to keep friends and make new friends as a grown-up, as an adult. It just is. It kind of sucks, but that's, I'm moving on. Okay, I don't deserve to be able to contact everyone involved directly to personally apologize, so I'll do it here in chance they read it. You could do both. You could do it here and then DM them. Like, you could even copy and paste that apology. Anyway. I'm so sorry to Nano. I'm so sorry I let things get to this point or even entertain the thought of you working exclusively with me. It's not fair to you. I wouldn't be here without you, and I wouldn't have been able to do most of what I've already done without you. Felt overly attached to our relationship over the past 4 years and loved your work so much that I wanted to make myself exclusive to your art and should have never sought those feelings to be reciprocated. Everything you've ever worked on for me has always been so perfect and lost sight of how everyone else around me would have felt. I had no intentions of pressuring you into anything, but looking back on my clouded judgment, I see how my messages felt that way. When I talked about how my models helped you improve, I meant that as looking back on how far we've come together. We've been friends for so long and cheered each other on when we both started growing and getting more opportunities like plushies, figures, etc. You've always been my exclusive artist for full live 2D models for the majority of my time as a VTuber. And of course, I would have been sad if you didn't want to continue that relationship. But in all our other private DMs, I was okay with you ultimately doing what was best for yourself. I saw you as someone I trusted and loved and wanted to make sure you were still taking care of yourself with all of the projects you took on, mine or otherwise. I never saw you as just a business partner. I thought I was reassuring you that I'd always be understanding if you wanted more to move on to other projects. I genuinely appreciated your friendship. I always saw you as a close friend, and I'm sorry for what I put you through. All right. Oh my God. Okay. To Val, since the start, I've always admired you and how genuine you've been to everyone. I couldn't be here without you either. I'm disgusted with myself for buying into the narrative that my friends were competition. I've never had such genuine friendships in my life. Friendship is a two-way road. I don't know if you guys know this. I mentioned before about how my friends are very understanding of me, and like my general silence in like chatty spaces, and like how we can just vibe quietly together, or we can like gossip, or like I can just send a meme and it's fine. Like, we're friends, we're fine, we understand one another, we can go to each other if we need it. Like, we know we can go to each other if needed. We vent to each other, we send funny things or sad things or whatever to each other, like whatever, right? Sneaker Nuts, thank you for the subscription, appreciate you.
Chelzor 1 nom, Chelzor 1 nom, Chelzor.
So, thank you. Friendship is a two-way street. It goes both ways. I've absolutely had friends that actively were friends with me to get as much as they could out of me, and then didn't reciprocate in any way, shape, or form. It was just, what can I give them? And then that was it. And that's not friendship. Like, it's just not. It sucks. Like... So, like, it really sucks for Val to be like, I thought we were genuinely friends, and then this is what you've been doing behind my back. You were not a friend to me. And sometimes people don't have an understanding that it's two ways, and it sucks. Anyway, especially with you, we've gotten to know each other so well online and in person. You've already been through so much, and the last thing I'd want to do is cause more harm. But I did. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner about these ideas that were put into my head. I wish we would have been able to talk about this too. I didn't know about the severity of things that had been said and theorized about my own friends behind my back until now. It's my fault for not realizing the things Red was saying about you. The countless friendships I've made here within the last several years mean so much more to me than him and the quote-unquote business side of things and his way of thinking. No amount of popularity or money mean more to me than the relationships I've built in this community. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I believe you are very much trying to damage control. I've always been myself, whether that be on stream or in person, and I hope the friends I've made can understand I'd never condone this behavior or any of the things that were said about my friends. I've always wanted everyone around me to thrive and find happiness. I can't stress enough how disappointed I am that I didn't see this sooner until I got to a breaking point. I'm sorry about. You actively claim you wanted to be friends with Silvervale and then actively went out of your way as much as possible to try to absolutely fuck her up. Like sabotage her. Like you, like, I don't know if I want to be your friend. Like, oh my God. Like, buddy. I've always been myself, but also I wasn't myself because I was under the influence of a mental puppeteer. All right. Okay. To Sack, I love getting to chat with you in person and absolutely loved all the hard work you put into the Boss Rush song. I'm so grateful to hear you were on board with the edit the MV. I don't remember exactly why the stream got pushed back, but I definitely wouldn't have put the blame on you knowing about how soon the deadline was when you started working on it. But you did put the blame on him, apparently. I was so thankful for your willingness to complete the project despite everything, and the quality of how it turned out was incredible. I can't believe how Red talked about you, especially after all the effort you put into me. I'm sorry for everything that's happened. Completely was like, I did not do that. Anyway, moving on, sorry. Like, she just 100% was like, I wouldn't have done that. I did not do that. Okay. All right. Sure. To Cotton and Lily, they don't get separate things. They get one together. All right. I'm so sorry you had to get dragged into this. It's my fault. I let it get this far, but I hope you can believe me when I say I had no knowledge of Red bringing you up in Nano's DMs. I just learned about all this myself. There could have been so many other friendships affected by the narrative that things had to be competitive. If I knew Red was trying to exclude specific friends in this exclusivity deal, I would have spoken up. None of my friendships are worth sacrificing over an art piece. I love being your friend and all of the memories we've shared, and I hope someday you can forgive me for allowing this to happen. Okay. Again, I might have to take another moment. Like, calm the fuck down. You're not involved in this. Why are you mad? Like, to Silver. All right. Since the start, I love that I saw someone else sharing so many similar interests with me, or to me. And I thought maybe someday we could talk about it all and be good friends. I was blinded by all these hate comments around me calling me your lesser half. I hate the person I've become towards you. I tried reaching out some time ago to try and start up friendly conversation to change things and make things right, say hi to you at conventions, and support your endeavors. But despite all that, I was still being eaten alive by my own doubts and fear or harassment. I was pressured by the community as a whole to try reaching out to collaborate since I got these messages so often comparing us, and I hope we could work something out. The photo of me at the meet and greet was taken candidly, and I thought it looked cute, and I posted it without asking you, which was wrong of me. I was so wrong for letting everyone get in my head about all these malicious things. I'm so sorry for any opportunities I've taken away from you. I'm sorry, Silver. That is lip service, if not like, hey, I know I have a giant fucking hate boner for you, and you can definitely tell. You can definitely tell when Red talks to Nano, but like all this other stuff. But anyway, it's because everyone got into my head. But like, if you talk to Bao, like I 100% just me all the time, except for when I view all my friends as competition, which is Red's fault. Anyway, God. Jesus Christ. Now she's blaming, I guess, Silver's fans or whatever. Like, hey, I tried to make things right by reaching out to be your friend, which you turned me down about. And like, I got peer pressured by all of our fans to try to collab with you, even though she's being extremely pushy about the collab. And like, Silver kept saying no about the collab. So like, okay. Sure. She's sorry she got caught hating on Silver so much. My understanding in this is like everyone just likes Silver. Silver doesn't really have like a lot of like whatever, like drama, I guess, or whatever, or is not really problematic. But like, again, just my understanding. I don't know any of these people. But like the real accountability was the friends we made along the way. But like, she's sorry she got caught hating on Silver. Silver's the one person she does not have the ability to claim she didn't know about, because she was actively working against Silver. herself, not just through redacted. She actually was. So, Silver is the one person Sheena cannot claim ignorance about. Everyone else had I don't know. I feel like everybody else had a slightly more legitimate sounding explanation, apology, whatever. Actually, maybe not. Like, it's just like... I promise you anything, she probably became obsessed with Silver. Based on my past friendships who acted a lot like this, she probably became hyper fixated on Silvervale, and she probably took Silvervale being like, no, I do not want to be friends with you. No, I do not want to collab with you. No, I don't want this kind of relationship. She took that so personally, it created a hate obsession. 100%. 100%. I'm sorry I'm sorry I assumed things about your design that weren't true, and I'm sorry you've been harassed by commenters needing to compare us, and I apologize for the way Red spoke about you to Nano. You don't deserve any of this spite. I'm sorry. Like, the smallest little thing. Again, I still feel like the spite situation really reads to me, again, I don't know any of these people. This is my personal opinion, that she is doing to spite what she thinks is happening to her from Silvervale. Like, this imagined, like, relationship, kind of like, so-and-so's watching me and, like, taking my ideas and, like, all that is what it looks like is fucking happening. And Spite did get the smallest paragraph, but that, to me, is what this reads like. Anyway, to Peaches, I'm sorry if I made it seem like I was ignoring or ghosting you. I was so happy we had the opportunity to meet in person. I was apologetic to how busy things were for me at the time. I wanted to spend more time with you, but as I got more and more DMs and messages, everything became so overwhelming. I've always had a low social battery, and that made it so hard for me to keep up to date with all my friends. I've never had any ill feelings towards you, and I still don't. But remember, you're not a close friend. It's important that you remember that. To rate, Spike got a smaller fucking, like, little paragraph apology. Okay. You were the first person I met as an ASM artist. During the time I was immature and vulnerable, I ended up being consumed by the content I was making, and it led me to making awful decisions I still think about and regret. I was not in a good spot at the time. I've hated myself for this kind of behavior, and it took a long time for me to move on from what happened. I have no excuses. I'm sorry you were dragged into my drama, and I'm sorry about how I made you feel after I just wanted to close the book on things. I'm sorry to my Pyro Pups and my mods for expecting me to lead by a better example than this. I'm sorry to the VTuber community for looking towards me as someone to aspire to. I'm sorry to Kaiser, who's put his heart and soul into everything he's ever done for me and not even talking to you about how I felt. I'm sorry to the dozens of artists that have put their hard work into me, and I'm sorry for the rest of my friends who I've let down. I've led a bad example, and I don't expect forgiveness. I've made many mistakes over my 5 years on the internet. I'm only one person living the one life I get for the first and only time, like anyone else or everyone else. As I said at the start, I ended up developing an extremely unhealthy work-life balance, and the harm Red has caused with the way he viewed things is irreparable. The way I've been perceiving things lately is not how I want to view the world moving forward, and this goes to show that there's a lot I need to address and improve if I'm to continue being a creator. I'm devastated that the friendships so special to me may understandably never be mended again. I love my job and I love all the friends I've had. Thank you for reading, Sinder. Does she though? And also, you're gonna have to find a new artist, babe, because I'm pretty sure Nana was like, hell no, I am lighting this bridge on fire. After I've crossed it, I don't want anything to do with you anymore. So that's a thing. Also, by the way, her Discord, they, I think, locked down all of the like parts of the Discord, so you couldn't chat. You couldn't post in her Discord because it was all locked down. Yeah, I mean, she's trying to do damage control. Blaming everything on Red is fine. Some of this is just not great. But this doesn't end there. It doesn't end here, guys. It does not end. How do I know this? Because I kept reading. Who comes in? Bao comes in. How How can you say you didn't know? I showed you both my base model sketch from Nano at WeebCon. We talked on stage and performed together. Walked on stage. Oh my God, I can't read anymore. We walked on stage and performed together. You were in the group chat where I shared my sadness over Nano suddenly canceling my model after we were so close to begin live 2D and rigging. And to now find out that just the day before I shared my sadness, this is the conversation that happened that ruined months of debut prep, planning, merch preparation. If you want to apologize to me, please do it properly and stop hiding behind red. So like, the whole you cancel models, blah, blah, blah. You know, Bao found somebody else. She has so many connections, she'll find someone super fast. Did you already design her outfit? I remember showing it to us at WeebCon. Nano had to drop me as a client because her work schedule is too hectic. The girly pop group, that's hilarious. So Bao called her out on her bullshit. Like, absolutely no, you knew about it. And then the piece de la resistance. Shy Lily comes in. Fucking swinging. Like, I ain't even joking. The absolute audacity to sit here and continue to manipulate and gaslight is absolute insanity. The pain and mental torment you've caused to the ones closest and most supportive of you have been devastating, and I have never been so heartbroken and hurt so badly for my friends. You are the fakest person I have ever had the displeasure of supporting, reading and hearing of how you've really viewed me behind my back, not just through screenshots of your man, but also your very own messages, while having to sit here and read through these bullshit lies you spin makes me want to vomit. To claim that you didn't know a single thing and had zero awareness of what your man was up to, when everyone who shared even a single moment with you knows that you basically operate as the same person, sharing every waking moment while loving to jump at the slight.
Let me get this for you.
Hello. Itchy Beard, thank you for the gifted sub. Anyway. While loving to jump at the slightest opportunity to turn into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given, even when talking about your friends, is sickening. I have experienced your own actions without red in a situation where, in your own screenshotted words, you expressed a pressure to live up to what Lily is and proceeded to throw one of your most loyal and supportive friends under the bus after months of continuous planning just because you consistently chose business over friends, never feeling bad for failing them. Just to earn the bag and compete with me over a V-Card collab that you rescheduled to be on the same exact date your friend needed you to keep an important promise. You actively lied about it to them, instead blaming me for a collab you rescheduled, adding me to the pool of excuses to save your ass when you realized you were being a bad friend. Why blame me for choosing to miss an obligation you agreed to on one of the most important days in that friend's career? Everything you do is out of competition through your constant need to one-up the people who are the sole reason you even have these opportunities and platforms to earn from to begin with. You are welcome, by the way. You claim that it's just business. Well, in the business world, there has to be accountability, and all you've done is try to shove it away and admit to nothing. In true narcissistic fashion, you're only feeling sorry about yourself and your own consequences and your career and try to salvage it. I'm sorry for everyone who looked up to you as an inspiration, and I'm especially sorry for your fans. Pyro Pups deserve better. Bruh! It was like, damn. Like, oh my God. I read a tweet the other day. I think earlier today, actually, there was a tweet that was 100% people going, I will give you one thing about Sinder. She made all the big ones come together and agree on something and talk about drama, because usually they do not involve themselves in drama. They will not comment on the drama, and they will just ignore that it is happening. Not with Sinder. Every single one of them was involved. I was like, dang, she is pissed. Like, oh my God. She came out swinging. She's like, nah. Oh my God. She came out with a steel chair. Like, there were no, like, you know, let's be safe about this or whatever. She was like 100% like, eat shit. Hold on. From the top rope. Nanners, by the way, also says something. I've seen Silver receive so much harassment and unfair comparisons to you over the years, and she just tanked it, minded her business, and never once tried to sabotage your success or tear you down. Deflecting and outright lying several times in this response instead of fully owning up to your mistakes is insulting to everyone. I can't help but feel very frustrated on behalf of my friend and everyone who was on the receiving end of so much unnecessary stress, largely due to the choices you made. They handled the situation with much more grace than you decided, and they deserve better. The weird backhanded remark you made the first time we ever met last year stuck with me, and now it makes a lot more sense knowing that this is apparently how you normally view and treat people. I hope you can learn from this and realize it's way easier to be kind and to be happy for your success as well as the success of others. And then Dan Snyder's head mod steps down after seeing I said Snyder's again. Sinder's response. God. Dan, hi all, small update to the above. Please no longer contact me regarding the future of the server or any questions with matters relating to Sinder. I am stepping down as an admin / mod of the community. I've tried my best to remain as neutral as possible, not speak on behalf of my friends, Sinder, or any others while we waited for additional information to come out. I am not naive enough to ask, please do not witch hunt anyone involved. I have been around the internet, on the internet long enough to know that how these things go. I do ask you, please give respect to any of the mods, past, present, or future. They were / are just trying to support the community that brought them joy. The amount of vitriol that has been unnecessarily thrown their way while they were trying to give someone a chance to speak their piece is unwarranted. Also, do not take any of them saying on or joining the team as 100% agreement with every action that has been taken. The community is made up of the individuals that exist within it, and I am sure their focus is trying to cultivate that feeling. Cultivate that feeling once again. Don't let the recent situation ruin your memories of people you've met here, the emotions you've had, and your empathy towards others. We're all just trying to find a little bit of happiness with what little time we have together. Be happy, be healthy, and be good to each other. It is wild to me that, like, people's knee-jerk reactions to things like this happening is to immediately burn whatever they own that they're upset with. Like, for example, like, people were burning Cinder's plushies and stuff. That is crazy to me. Like, the fact that you immediately go to arson. Just like, what? Like, some people were like, hey, instead of burning them, like, let's donate them. Like, kids who might get this aren't gonna know any significance of it. They'll just be happy to have a little plushie. Or, like, you know, if you donate to, like, shelters and stuff, like, they're not gonna know who it is. They just have, like, a nice thing to wear, like, whatever, or like a warm coat or whatever. Like donate it, don't destroy it, that kind of stuff. But I'm like, that's the fact that people knee-jerk reaction is like, I have to destroy this, I have to burn it. Like, I'm like, wow. Also, big thanks to Bella, who made this whole thing that I've been reading off of. For my own sanity and keeping the timeline straight, I'm making this a thread of the doc/tweets that have been dropped to my knowledge regarding Sinder. Really appreciate you, babe.
Cheer 100. No, it will contaminate them.
Thanks for the bits. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you don't know what it is, you're just happy to have, like, a thing. Like, whatever, it's fine. That's just a knee-jerk reaction just to commit arson. Like, I'm just like, all right. Yeah, I mean, big thanks to Bella pre-debut fairy here for collecting everything in one easy-to-read timeline. Really appreciate that from them. I'm not even gonna lie. This is really... No, don't do that. This literally made me laugh. I'm not gonna DMCA myself more than I already did. But this made me laugh. This is how I felt. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, damn. Yeah, that's what Shy Lily did. Like, she was like not even joking. The memes are making me laugh, and that's probably mean of me, but the memes are really good. I'm sorry. I love it when memes happen. I love it when something happens and there's memes made. It's my favorite thing. Yeah, so that's what we know so far about the Sinder situation. Has more stuff come out? Quite possibly. I know memes have. But yeah, that is what is happening. It is rough. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how she's going to recover from this. I know she is bleeding followers right now, and people are 100% destroying the merch of her. Artists are claiming that they regret ever making stuff for her, fan art of her, etc. I've seen some artists say that they are going to take the art that they made, not that she commissioned, just in general, like they made fan art of her, and that they are going to reuse that art by changing the character so that it's not fully like their time was not fully wasted. It is a lot. I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's a lot. It's rough. If you're a fan, I'm so sorry. You guys, VTubing community has gone through it this weekend. I hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys have found maybe somebody else to seek shelter with. I'm very sorry for the pyro pups. If you are, I don't know. There's some people that are gonna be like, yes, I love a good bitch. I mean, that's fine. Whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think she's gonna disappear, if you're wondering. I legitimately don't. I know other people are also mad at Gamer Subs, like they are no longer supporting Gamer Subs. This was already, there's some drama with Gamer Subs, so Gamer Subs also can't take a break or catch a break, I guess. Based on some other people that they have brought on. I don't know. Again, I have no idea what's going on. I don't think she's going anywhere. I think she will find another artist that is willing to work with her. I think she might take a hit in numbers for now. I think a lot of her opportunities are gone. Like, opportunities to collab with big VTubers are gone. I would not be that surprised if some of the VTubers chose not to make a new contract with GamerSups going forward once their contract runs out, because I think it is like a short-term contract that you can renew. I would not be surprised if they did not renew them. But yeah, I don't know. They might. I don't know how much kickback they get from GamerSups, but yeah, I hope Pyro Pups are doing okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's rough month for VTubing.